Welcome to the Horror Hangout, a podcast where film fans watch the best and worst horror movies of all time, and sometimes we play games and talk about them. That intro sounded a lot better in my head. My name is Ben Errington, and today I'm joined by regular co-host Mr.
Andy Conduit 10. Hello, Ben. How are you?
I'm very well. I'm all stocked up on green herbs and feeling great. Plus, a very special returning guest. Liz Bishop is a film fan, co-host of Not Another Teen podcast, and Leon S. Kennedy fangirl. Welcome to the show, Liz. Hello.
Hello, thank you. I love that introduction, and you are absolutely correct.
Yeah, I
Leon
feel
is
like
my husband. My husband.
your husband, the love for Leon online is
Mm.
grown exponentially in recent months, hasn't
For some of us, it's always been there.
it?
Always been there.
Even as a rookie, a
Oh yeah,
wisecracking rookie. Well, he didn't really do the
yeah,
wisecracks back
Very
in the day.
earnest, wasn't he, in his early
yeah.
days?
He was a
Mm.
sweet angel baby, and he was hot then, and he's hotter now.
He was kind of ginger in the original one. Not that anything's wrong with being ginger. I'm just pointing that out.
Was he? Thought he
Yeah,
looked
a little
more
bit
blonde.
gingery, especially in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
cutscenes.
That
A
might have
little-
been PS1's palette as much as
I was
anything else.
gonna say.
Yeah, exactly. Um, as a follically challenged man, though, I am mildly jealous of Leon S. Kennedy and the fact that he's managed to keep his hair, for over 30 years in its beautiful form. It's impressive, right?
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a bit of an emo cut,
Yeah.
but
That's not the
he
only
will.
good thing about him.
Yeah, exactly. It's fine. Doesn't
I did
matter.
see someone edited it like saying this is what a real, like, nearly 50-year-old man's hair would probably look like. And it was painful.
Well,
Like a little
I think
crew
that's
cut, like a
good.
little receding crew cut. And I went, nah.
Let's just be clear though, because 50 isn't that far off, really, for some of us. So I think that's rude.
What on earth do you mean by that?
Well, 50 isn't particularly old, is it?
No,
No.
not
To
Not
be
like
really.
fair,
old and decrepit in your 50s.
Andy has got an impressive head of hair. I'm not saying he's nearly 50,
I was
but
gonna say.
I might be
he's,
more nearly 50 than anyone else here, though. So,
I mean, that was what I was
I'll
trying to
take
say
it.
without being
Yeah.
rude.
I said,
Um,
when I get towards the 50th birthday, Ben, I get myself a Leon S. Kennedy jacket. There's a man that I sometimes see down the pub that I've just come from that looks exactly like him. He has the cut. He has like the sweeping
Wow.
curtains. He has the brown jacket from Resident Evil 4 that I've seen. I am
so
probably
he,
just half a drink away from just going up to him one time and going, "Have you deliberately dressed like Leon S. Kennedy?"
yeah, so he's done it accidentally. He's just got the hair and the jacket accidentally.
I don't know. I don't know. I will endeavor to find out and report back, but I feel it could be a bit like that bit in the other guys when Michael Keaton's always quoting TLC songs, and he'd be like, "What? What are you talking about? I've never heard of that."
Maybe he's a fangirl too. You never know.
You never know. To be
Yeah.
fair, whenever I
And when
see
an old woman
anyone
came to
wearing
the pub once, he did suplex her across the.
Oh my God. Yeah, well, thank you so much for joining us, Liz. I saw you were as excited as we were to play Resident Evil Requiem, and I thought who better to join us for the first ever video game focused episode of Horror Hangout.
Really? I didn't realize it was the first one.
First
That's
deep
exciting.
dive.
I'm honored.
We
I'm
did a little
honored.
topic episode a lifetime ago.
Yeah, a
Mm.
lifetime ago. As I said to you earlier, Liz, probably when we were using Skype to record.
Yeah.
Oh,
See, you can't
oh.
pull a face at me saying we're not that far from 50 when you're talking about using Skype to podcast.
Yeah, that's true, actually. I'll take it back. Um,
Wow.
But yeah, and what a time. The game's been out for, what is it, just about a month now?
Under a month now,
So
yeah.
I guess it's given all big Resident Evil fans a chance to play the game. So we're going to spoil everything. We're going to talk about the whole plot. We're going to talk about all the gameplay. We're going to talk about all the plot points, cameos, major returns, any of that stuff, if anything. So yeah, looking
So
forward
buckle
to it.
up.
And the week of Resident Evil's 30th anniversary as well.
Yeah.
Super, super exciting. I guess so. What I did want to do was just talk very briefly about like our Resident Evil history. I was kind of almost gonna think about doing like a Mount Rushmore of Resident Evil games, but I guess maybe we'll just talk about our favorite few Resident Evil games as well. Where did it start for you? Your love of the franchise, Liz?
So I actually came to it quite late. I have always sort of I wasn't that big a gamer, to be honest, even though I've always had games consoles for some reason. I worked in game and in Game Station here in the UK at some point in my like early 20s, I think. So I always had a console, I always had a PlayStation or an Xbox or something like that. But I never really had the patience to sort of get through a full game. It was
Mm.
sort of, I'd buy like the latest, I don't know, Spyro or something like that, play it for a little bit, and then just get really frustrated that I couldn't get through it. And then it wasn't really until 2020 when I got a Switch, and this is going to be sacrilege, as I've been told by other Resident Evil fans. I got a Switch for my 30th birthday, and 3 weeks later, we went into lockdown. So I spent that entire year playing games on my Switch, and some of the games that I played were the Resident Evil games. And as I got more and more into them, I thought, you know what, I can't keep doing it a disservice. And I got myself a PlayStation, and the rest
Mm.
is history. So yeah, I wasn't someone who sort of played them all as they came out, up
Yeah.
until probably Village.
Mm.
I started, that was when I started playing them as they came out. And I just find that as much as I do love gaming and I do play other games, just nothing hits like Resident Evil. Nothing makes me want to sit down for like 12 hours and blast through something like that does. Everything else, I'm sort of like, this is fun, but I need to take a break, or I need to play something else, or I
Mm.
get frustrated. But I don't know, there's just something about it that I
Mm.
absolutely love.
Well, amazing to have come into it. I guess at any point, because there have been so many different eras, I guess, of the games. Obviously, it's straight up survival horror with the tank controls back in the day. The more like action over the shoulder ones from four onwards, and then when the games started getting remade, and we got seven and eight and now nine. Like, I just feel like it's a really interesting development of the series, the way it's kind of evolved. And it'd be, yeah, great that you came into it. And why is it sacrilege on the Switch? Is it just a bit not as good?
So I have a friend, Chris, that is really super into Resident Evil. He's sort of the person that I speak to the most about it. And when I told him that I was playing them on Switch, he was like, "That's disgusting. You should be ashamed." I think he feels that, you need to have the full big screen experience, and it's not quite the same. And to be
Yeah,
honest,
yeah.
he's right, because playing them on PlayStation is obviously a much different
But then
experience.
again, yeah, I mean, absolutely. I know they're fairly new to the Switch as well, I believe, aren't they? I guess in the
Yeah.
last 5 or 6 years.
And
But
they all run
also,
very well though.
yeah, but also handheld Resident Evil has existed with that one on a DS where you swipe with the little stylus. What was that one?
Resident Evil Deadly Silence, the
Deadly
remake of the
Silence, yeah.
original, is probably the best version of original Resident Evil.
Yeah. Resident Evil
Wow.
Gaiden on the Game Boy, which I think gets slated, but I love that. There was like a little thing you had to like press to like shoot the zombies that went back and forth. Oh, it was good times.
See, I
Yeah.
didn't even know that those existed. So
Yeah,
I,
but I
I
guess
call
was there?
I call myself a fangirl, but clearly not. Clearly,
No,
I
there's
think
no
that's
gatekeeping
a
around
fangirl.
here, Liz.
No.
You could like
Let's go
one
back.
Resident Evil game and you'd still be a fan. It's fine.
Well, no.
I appreciate that.
Anything on the PSP, Andy? Was there?
I don't know. They must have ported some stuff. I bet you could
Yeah.
get Resident Evil Apocalypse on UMD.
Oh God, yeah. Oh yes. So I mean, in terms of your favorites, then, Liz, would you put Village up there? Is Requiem taking number one spot for you now? Would you say?
Um, it's like Sophie's Choice for me with Village and Nottingham. I Village, I feel like it gets a bad rap. Like, not many people like seem to have it in their favourites, but for me,
Yeah.
it is the best one. And I think it's because I, obviously, as a massive horror fan, I enjoy anything that makes me scared. And I genuinely think that Village is the scariest of all the games. A lot of people say Seven, Biohazard, but I don't find that as scary. And I think it's because, to me, the being stuck, sorry, spoilers for Village, but being stuck in a dark well and hearing a baby cry is a lot scarier to me than, just being in a room where there's sort of alien looking blob things coming at you. Like,
Oh yeah.
it's two different kinds of fear, isn't it? And Village, I just think every time I play it, it's so beautiful. Like the scenery and everything is gorgeous. I love that Ethan's story is sort of contained within 7 and 8, and
Mhm.
then the Rose's story on the end of Village is really good as well. And it was like the first video game to make me cry at the end. So it's
Yeah.
just got a really special place in my heart. But Requiem is insanely good. So it's sort of, and it
Yeah.
has Leon. So I don't know.
I think
Gun to my head, I'm not sure.
Village with like all the gothic horror stuff it leans into is probably like that just scratches a certain itch, doesn't it? And I guess it's something
Yeah.
that had been present in Resident Evil in the past, but I guess this like it really lent into it. Vampires, werewolves,
All
all
your
that stuff.
background, isn't it? Maybe you'll find Village the scariest if like you've been raised on the fear of gothic horror. Maybe you find Biohazard scariest if no judgment, you find a working class family quite triggering.
A big old bloke chasing you through his house. Get out of his house then, for God's sake.
He's put loads of wire around the handles. I can't.
I need the bloody wire cutters, mate. Yeah, but Requiem is just like absolutely batshit. I said to Andy, like, if you showed me certain parts of Requiem like 2 months ago, I'd have been like, what?
Mhm.
How the hell do we get there? And now,
What's
like, after 2.5 playthroughs, I'm like, yeah, I'm completely locked in.
understands?
Um,
Got it. What's your history, Ben? I know you have a rich and storied history with Resident
Yeah, I won't
Evil.
go in. I won't go into every detail, but I've pretty much been there since day one, and I've been almost every time a new Resident Evil game was released, mainly on PlayStation. I didn't necessarily go all over the consoles and the handhelds and stuff. I was a day one purchase. Resident Evil, the original, I bought in 1996. Went into Virgin Megastore. It was rated 15. So I got my
Wow.
friend. I got my friend. Shout out to Michael Burgess. Got my friend who's taller than me to go and buy it, and he did. And we got it, and we got home and we played it. And the moment those dogs leapt through the window, I've never been the same. And I feel like it really did shape like me as a horror fan as well. Like that kind of like, I love the zombie stuff. I love all the monsters, all the bioweapons and things like that. Um, but also like, I guess the action element, the soundtrack used to really even in the director's cut, but the soundtrack used to really affect me. And then going from that into Resident Evil 2, like, it's a weird thing because I was genuinely, actually scared of it, but addicted to it as well. So, like, I
Hmm.
had to keep going, I had to keep playing. Sometimes I get my sister to sit in the room with me and sit on the end of the bed and just watch. I would say, just watch, it's cool. Really, I just needed that company to be able to watch it. And and yeah, I've pretty much played. I've constantly played every new release and loved every new release. Even I guess the critically panned ones like six. At the time when I first played it through, I loved it. And maybe they're not aged as well, but I've had a good time with all of them. Love the remakes, love the new direction of the games. A lot of people say maybe they're a little bit too. They've sort of removed the survival horror element of it. The controls when they're modern, the game doesn't really work so much. I love it. I love the cheesiness of it, the over the top nature, something that probably wouldn't work in a movie and hasn't worked in the Resident Evil movies,
Mm.
unfortunately. Um, but there is just something about playing these games that is like it's so those opening hours of a Resident Evil game are so isolating when you absolutely have no idea what's coming. I feel like nothing compares, and I love Silent Hill and I love other horror games as well, but nothing compares. I feel like the cast of characters are great. The monsters are insane. The villains, usually pretty good, I'd say. Requiem might be the only one where I'm a bit iffy on it, but
Beloved
still.
characters that you've met loads of times.
Yeah, but I love it. I love all the lore. I've collected books and read comic books and I just love all the lore and I love how it is all just a bit silly, but I think it's great.
I owe a lot to Resident Evil as a franchise, similar to you, Ben, like as part of horror fandom. Given my advanced years, I was old enough to buy Resident Evil just about when it came out in 1996. It was the game I got with my PlayStation 1. I first played it round at my cousin's
Oh,
house, who had got it just before I had played it round at Daniel's house. And I was like, right, I've got to get a PlayStation now. And up to that point, I just had my Mega Drive, and then I saved up, and it was my birthday that year. Took my birthday money down, got enough. Basically, it was the year where normally, you're still of an age where people will get you presents and stuff like that. But you're like, hey, everyone, don't want to assume you're getting me a present, but if you are, I'm like sending you those twee cards when people want cash for their wedding. Little rhyme in there that says, "Hey, it's birthday, give me some fucking money," right? So I took all my birthday money and got a PlayStation 1 with Resident Evil, and that is where it began. Similar to you, then I used to take it around to my friends' houses and we used to play it. We used to get like all of them as we worked through. I did, like you, Liz, spent a little bit of time working in video games retail. I used to work in the game in Tamworth for a number of years when a few of the games came out. Also, horror stuff aside, it's probably why I moved into writing
Mhm.
professionally. Based on a competition many years ago, I've been at uni, so it'd have been
Sure.
2001, 2002. Games Master magazine, as it was, ran a competition by Capcom for you to like put in your concept, a design for a new Resident Evil game. And I got really into this competition. Thought I'm gonna actually put an effort in because it wasn't one of those things where it's like movies, games, and videos. Do an answer A, B, and C on a postcard and you'll win. It was like design a concept and send it in. So I went and I bought a sketchbook and I like meticulously drew out a PlayStation controller and mapped out the controls and I cut out and edited photos and printed them off and I wrote game scenarios and a ton of stuff. And I won. And Capcom sent me a GameCube and Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3 remade on there, 4 just as it came out. It was great, and they sent me a huge TV back when big widescreen TVs were still as thick as they were wide.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
Amazing.
I loved it. It was so I wish I'd kept a copy of the book that I sent in because
Yeah.
it definitely is parallel thought. I am on the record saying I don't think the good folks at Capcom stole my idea, but pre-Resident Evil 4, I did design a monster called the Regenerator and had a story about how you defeat it. I loved it.
Stunned silence.
No, I had
Stunned
to mute because
silence
my
all
dog was being
around.
a dickhead. But I love it and I've continued to love it all this time. I ended up buying Nemesis on import before it came out, like about a week before it was just
Yeah.
available because I was so obsessed with getting stuck in and playing it, and I've loved them ever since.
I remember, sorry to jump back in there, but two things that reminded me of you telling your amazing story, which was obviously you got to find a copy of that, man. Can you find a
Mhm.
copy of it?
No, I literally I wrote it. I wrote it by hand.
Oh,
Anything I
and
did
send it
type out,
off.
anything I did
Ah,
print out, I could probably find the digital archive of the Games Master magazine, which has the little tiny letters at the bottom that says
oh
I
yeah,
won. But I don't have
brilliant.
the email address that I like heard from them by anymore. But it was just an artifact of something that was really good, and I was so inspired. I say as if I was young, I would have been 18, 19, but still technically a child comparatively. When I
Mhm.
got this, and I was really thrilled that I'd won. Oh, I didn't win this because of a random draw. I won
Mhm.
because I did the best thing,
Yeah.
or at
Oh,
least
that's
sent in the
awesome, man.
heaviest thing, and they went, "This'll do." Yeah, I was really impressed, and then I got really into like writing and like actually thinking of ideas
Mm.
and writing horror stories from that win.
Yeah. Oh man, that's amazing. I was just
That's
gonna
so
say, when
cool.
you mentioned the GameCube, like I completely pivoted towards GameCube away from PS2 because of
Mm.
Resident Evil. I changed my console buying habits, or like I guess my parents did, by going, oh, Resident Evil the remake, and then Resident Evil 4 were coming out on GameCube first. I was like, well, now I have to get a GameCube and forget PS2. Obviously, they came out of the Resident Evil 4 came out eventually on PS2. Um, but yeah, that pretty much did it. I just remembered when you said about writing something, there was a, this is a, I haven't thought about this for so long. Somebody in like 2 years above me in senior school used this animator um, program called the Complete Animator to make this big animated Resident Evil thing called Tyrant Mayhem. And I was like, it was the coolest thing I'd ever seen in my life. And I was like, I have to do that. So me and like two of my friends like taught ourselves how to animate using this really basic animator and made like animated Resident Evil inspired little cartoons. And one day, honestly, no word of a lie, after working on them for about 6 months, and you probably had like 3 or 4 minutes of animation, went in, the entire server had been wiped. could have cried.
Well,
Could have cried. But yeah, we still talk about that now and again. But I
Harsh
think that,
times. That's the real nightmare.
that's the real nightmare. But that's the impact. And I said this to my wife the other day. I said, I love Resident Evil so much because I feel like it's not just my favorite game series. I feel like it's my favorite thing. You
mhm.
know, just like anything like any collectibles or anything I ever do. Resident Evil is kind of like anything. I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta get my hands on that. So yeah, I'm sure we'll continue to gush about our love for the franchise as the episode
Plenty of
goes
time.
on. Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about some horror news very quickly. What have we got? So Jennifer's Bodies 2. Exclusive details. Diablo Cody has been fully unleashed to write the horror sequel, and she says it's in progress. 17 years, obviously, after the original was released in theaters. She's back to write Jennifer's Body 2, and so it's actually happening. How do we feel about this? What do we want to see from a
Strong
Jennifer's Body
positive.
sequel? Strong positive, Liz?
Um, I would have been positive, but I really didn't rate Lisa Frankenstein, and my concern is
Oh.
that it will go that way. I don't know. I think because Jennifer's Body is so iconic, it's going to be really hard to
Mm.
recreate that kind of thing. But then saying that, I don't know if you guys would have watched it because it's not probably your jam, but the Freaky Friday sequel with Jamie
Oh,
Lee and Lindsay Lohan, loved that, thought
was
it was
good.
perfect.
I
So
I
you
do
never
like
know.
the original. I haven't actually
Yeah.
seen Freakier Friday, but
It's really, really good. It
mm,
really captures like that vibe. So it's just proven that sequels can be done well,
mm.
but I don't know. I'm not sure.
Have you done Jennifer's Body on Not Another Teen podcast? I guess you have.
We have
Yeah.
indeed with our good friend Becky Sace. So
Oh,
Oh,
very
check
good.
that
An
out.
essential episode then, by the sound of that.
Very, very essential. Yes.
Who did we do
essential
an
indeed.
episode with back in the day? Was it with Georgie?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think we did it with Georgie, didn't we? Yeah.
Yeah.
This was a film. I don't know why. For so I hadn't seen it for years. Like after it released, I didn't see it for a long, long time. But when I did, I was like, oh yeah, it's banging.
Hmm.
Um, and I guess Megan Fox would return, right?
I think so. Yeah, I know Amanda Seyfried's really keen for it.
Mm.
So I'd like to think that they'll both be back.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah,
Mhm.
up for that, definitely. What else have we got in terms of news? Any news of any films that we've discussed being released recently?
Um,
Andy?
from the email list, then, do you remember? Cast your mind back to Fright Fest last year. We didn't see Transcending Dimensions. Emma did see it
Yeah,
for us, though,
no,
and gave a
yeah.
report. That is coming out on Blu-ray. It's getting a physical release May 25th. So if you heard us talk about
Hell yeah.
that, the psychedelic, like Japanese, like fantasy with incredible visuals and soundtrack, if I remember Emma's write-up properly, available for you to catch up on physical
I thought
release.
you saw that. Did I
Excited.
imagine that? Did you see it?
No, I didn't. I think our screener expired before I got to it. Did
Ah,
you see it at Fright Fest, Liz?
I didn't know. It doesn't sound like my cup of tea, to be
yeah, I
honest.
heard good
I was
things.
probably watching something else shit at
Yeah.
Fright Fest, to be honest.
No.
No.
um, I guess talking about Fright Fest, as mentioned, I did an interview with Chris Collier, the director of Captured Souls, in conversation with Graham Humphreys documentary, and that's up now. And also that documentary and the documentary about Fright Fest are both available on the 24 Foot Square website to order Blu-rays now. It's not out just yet, but I think it might. I think he said May. That might be totally wrong. But it's a lovely interview of Chris talking about the documentary, how it was made, and we've been told that Graham Humphreys would like to come on the show as well. So it'd be good to chat to him um, about it as well, because it's not every day you get a documentary made about yourself, is it?
Oh, that's
When you
cool.
do, you've got to seize every opportunity that comes off the back of it.
I want to make a documentary about you winning the bloody Capcom competition, Andy.
But we'll have to
Yeah.
do like one of those, like, like a King of Kong one where we actually go and see if we can find in Capcom's offices somewhere, like in like an Ark of the Covenant style warehouse, just
Yeah.
this ring binder that I'd made and posted in.
Yeah, and you read it, and it'll just be the plot for Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, and be like, what have I
Yeah.
done? I could be sitting on millions here if I just I just saved a copy.
It could
Um,
be the next big expose that Capcom stole
yeah,
18-year-old Andy Turner's
a
ideas.
really serious Netflix documentary about it. I want
I
to
would
see
love that.
with your face, with
As
like,
Oh,
any legal
can,
person that people listen, I have no way allege that that is the case.
can I please just have like a 30-second cameo where I just sit there and say how you're such a good person and such a nice person? Because I've always wanted to be on a Netflix true crime documentary, but my fear is that it will only be if I get murdered.
oh,
So we've been having a couple of chats with the folks over at Grimfest, and they have had, they're doing a horror movie festival every year, of course, but the team behind it have got their own Manchester-based horror thriller movie called Past Lives, which has been having screenings all this week. If
mm.
you are at time of release, um, really hankering for a trip out to the cinema, there are the last few screenings of it at cinemas today at time of this podcast going out. But if that's a little bit short notice for you, it will be out on Apple TV on April the 6th, so you can see it at home as well.
Hell yeah.
And then the final bit of news, it's big festival news week this week, Ben. You'll never guess which one of our favorite festivals has announced their movie lineup for the year.
Which one?
It's only the good folks over at Dunded
Yeah, I
up
knew
my
that.
way.
I knew the answer.
Yeah, so early May, the first end of the first week of May. Is it the 6th of the 8th, I think? I haven't got the calendar up in front of me, but I can tell you what is going to be on. So we've got some premieres. We've got something a film called Camp, Theatre is Dead, Rakia, Buffet Infinity, Silencio, and Her Will Be Done. Lots of UK premieres, lots of Scottish premieres. And then the Dundee lineup always tries to do a little bit of a theme. And this time they're working with a group that promotes female contributions to the arts called Invisible Women. And they have curated a series of cannibalistic classics for us all here,
Oh,
featuring cannibalism, consumption, and carnal appetites. We've got dumplings, we've got Blood Diner, we've got Santo versus Frankenstein's daughter. Never seen it. Big into that title. Raw, we've done an episode on Raw, haven't we, Ben? The 10th
yeah.
anniversary screening of that. Trouble Every Day and The Velvet Vampire. We're going to try and get their curator, Michael Cool, on for a little bit of a chat with us about those films in more detail, but just get it in your diary right now. Why don't you?
Where is that festival?
Dundee, up my way.
Oh my goodness, that's
Get
so
yourself
far
up, let's
away.
have a weekend. We'll be around. There's a quiz on the Thursday night.
Oh, do you know what? I Trouble Every Day is a film that I've wanted to watch for years and years and years, and I can never find it anywhere. And when you said that, I was like, oh, maybe I can go and see it on the cinema, but Dundee is very far.
Oh,
That is very, very far.
Nip over to Dundee, why don't
Yeah,
you?
just pop on up.
Are you
Yeah.
going to
get
attend,
yourself
Andy?
a train ride. We got a sofa bed. There's plenty of room.
Oh, yeah.
Where are you?
Uh,
Oh,
not
okay.
that one.
No.
You always end it with not that one. Um, I was going to save this bit to until what we've been watching, but I think I'll mention it now because at least I can talk about it being available. There is a
Sweet
Resident
segue.
Evil. Sorry,
Sweet segue, Ben, which I've now
sweet
ruined your
sweet
point. That's a
segue.
sweet segue.
There's a Resident Evil fan film. It's called Resurrection, a Biohazard hazard story. It's from the guys over at Residents of Evil YouTube channel. It stars, and you'll never believe this, it stars many of the original actors from the live action intro of the first game in 1996. Chris, Barry, Wesker, Jill, Rebecca Chambers, and there might be a couple of cameos as well. And you know what? Fan films not usually my bag. Not usually my bag. These are done really, really well. They're really you can tell that it's just fans of the franchise have put it together, and some of the direction it takes, like it establishes certain games as canon. You know, some of these films go, okay, well the first film's canon, but here's a new story. But it kind of selects all of those films as canon, and having everybody involved is just so good. And it takes place years after the mansion incident of 1996. A viral outbreak has spread through Rosa and Firma, a remote town in Mexico. Chris, Barry, Jill, and Rebecca are pulled back into the nightmare as Albert Wesker resurfaces and a new bioterror threat emerges. It's like an hour long.
That
We're not
sounds
talking
great.
like we're
Oh,
not talking like 10
straight
bloody
onto
minutes
that.
here. It's like an hour long. I mean, The Keeper's Diary, which they did previously as well, is also good. I know you've seen that, Andy, haven't you? The Keeper's Diary.
Yeah, I was really impressed with the Keeper's Diary.
Yeah, they like built a set that was like that area of the mansion, almost like exactly. Um, yeah, it's really really cool. I love the stuff that Residents of Evil have been doing for years, and their love of the franchise, and they've kind of like brought some of these guys like out of retirement, or not just out of retirement, but like out from the wilderness. Like nobody knows where these actors have been and what they've been doing. Some of them, not all of them. And then they found them and brought them back and like gone, what do you want to like be this character again?
That's so
So
impressive. I think like
Yeah.
some of these guys, I imagine, were probably just like video games production today versus what it was in 1996. They're probably like, oh, there's this Japanese game that's coming out. They need like some English because
yeah,
it's despite the fact it's a Japanese game, it's always been inspired, or at least was before it went full circle and Resident Evil started inspiring films instead the other way around. Like it was inspired by George A. Romero horror movies, and they
mm,
wanted American actors to be in this tiny, tiny bit of video for this beginning of this game. As far as these guys probably knew in 1996, no one they knew would ever even see it,
Yeah.
right?
yeah.
Mad.
But not just those actors. What's really cool as well is that they've got Joe White, who's the original voice actor for Chris Redfield. He's in it. Ward E. Sexton, the voice behind the Resident Evil title call, is in the film.
There you go.
Resident
That's cool.
Evil. And Pablo Kuntz, that's right, who voiced Albert Wesker is in it as well. It is like unbelievable. Like when I was watching it, I was just like, this is incredible. Obviously, it's limited by being a fan film and the budget, but it's still a good time. I recommend it. You can watch it in full on YouTube. We'll put the link to that in the show notes as well.
Wonderful. Amazing stuff.
Wonderful. Cool. Okay, so before we get into Requiem, let's talk a little bit about what we've been watching. Anything we've seen in the last 7 days, of course, for you, Liz, it could be further back. Anything you've seen recently that's like really tickled your fancy?
Oh,
Um, okay, this is a bit of a rogue recommendation, a rogue choice, but
You
let me
like
explain
Rogue?
why. So I haven't watched many films this year, mostly just because I've been super busy, super ill at the beginning of the year, and by the time you get home from work and you've done tea and you've done all the other shit, you're just like, I need to watch something easy and go to sleep.
Hmm.
Um, and that has led me to start watching the American TV drama 911. I don't know if either of you have ever watched any of it,
I've
but
seen some bits because my wife watches it quite a lot.
it's very good. And the reason that I bring it up on Horror Hangout is because every episode is kind of like a mini Final Destination. It's
okay.
just like LA, it's like the LA fire department, but they're like first responders, blah, blah, blah. And every single episode has got like some ridiculous thing that they have to get called out for. I mean, just some of them, for example, the first episode, there is a baby trapped in a tube in a wall. Um, there is one where a large truck gets overturned and it was transporting a shark, and the shark is now in the middle of the road eating a man's arm.
Oh
Uh,
no. Will they be
there was a man,
hungry?
yeah, there was a man on a motorbike that gets split clean in half and is still alive while his legs are about 2 meters away.
Still
There was,
alive.
Like
yeah,
walk out of the Jimmy Cox story.
there was some like YouTubers decided to use a motorbike to spin their friend around on a roundabout, and it spun him so fast that his eyeballs popped out of the sockets.
I think I've
And then
seen a video of
someone,
that.
yeah, and then
What
someone got their
platform
head.
is this on, Liz?
It's on Disney Plus.
Hasn't it ended up in
Ran so
space?
fast on a
Has it ended
roundabout,
up in
your eyes
space?
came out.
I don't know because I'm only on season 3. I started watching it because I was like, do you know what? I like a little cheesy American drama sometimes, something that I can just, binge while I'm working from home. And I put it on and I'm absolutely gagged by every episode because it's always like a car driving along on the road and a big lorry up ahead, and you're thinking, oh, there's going to be a car crash. Like, this is going to be today's accident. And then the lorry gets overturned and there's a shark inside. It's just it feels like, when you watch a Final Destination movie for the first time and you're looking at every inanimate object around the room and they're using a blender and you're like, oh my God, they're going to put their hand in a blender. Or there's a faulty light switch and you're like, oh my God, they're going to get electrocuted. That is what every episode
Yeah.
of this show is like. And it is so good and so juicy. And that is the only thing that I've been
I
watching
guess
for
That
weeks.
a
sounds
little bit like
incredible.
Casualty. The opening scene of
Yeah,
Casualty used to stress me the hell out. I'd just be
it
like, "Oh no, what's going to happen?"
it's very Casualty vibes. It's got that
Yeah.
sort of, it's
Mm,
quite on the surface level drama, but
yeah.
Oh, I
just
love
right.
I love the setup of a Casualty. The old
Yeah.
man. It was like his wife's telling him, "You mustn't keep that gun in the shed loaded." All
Yeah.
right, I'll do something about it after the grandchildren go home from their visit. I'm too busy right now.
Yeah. It's exactly that, and it's like, and then at the bit, like in on each season, they seem to have like one real big drama. So like one
Mm,
season is they have like an earthquake and a tower like falls down, and you got someone like on the glass, look as if it's about to crack and they're gonna fall. And then the next season there was like a tsunami, and they're all on a pier on like a Ferris wheel, and they're stuck on the Ferris wheel. It's
oh,
just it's so cheesy and fun
yeah.
that I cannot stop watching it. But then I lay in bed at night thinking of all the
What
different
happened to
ways that
me?
I could die.
Yeah. How many series
So
are there?
I think there's 9.
So there
Oh,
we go. You've
so
got more
much content,
911.
content for
All the
days.
Yeah.
content.
So there's the big question is when are you launching your new 911 based podcast?
Honestly, if I can, I mean, if you guys are free and you would like to watch it, I need a
Yeah.
co-host. We
Yeah,
can do
sign
that.
us up. That sounds great. At least until you get the ultimate like media personality. If you get Michael Buck, UK's host of 999, we were grown up to do it with you.
Wow, that would be good.
Is he still going?
Yeah, he's got to still be alive.
Mm. It's just one of those things, when you go, you see those memes where it's like dads standing watching TV and they're like, dads when the show got good, when they're like watching it over the back of someone. So what's going
Yeah,
on here? Load of
yeah,
nonsense, but you
Who's
stand
that
there and
then?
just watch it. Who's this
Yeah,
then? I've definitely done that with 911.
yeah. So good.
that
Anything
sounds
else at
great.
all? Is that pretty much it,
That's
Liz?
pretty much it. The other thing I guess I would recommend Cross on Amazon as well. That's another series. It's kind of like an American
Yeah,
Luther.
yeah.
Um,
There've been a couple of
very
films, isn't there? Oh wait, there
um
Along Came a
well,
Spider's Cross, isn't it?
yes, yeah. So
Mm.
it's based on him, but it's obviously like a different actor and much younger.
Is someone British a villain?
In the newest season, it's Matthew Lilliard.
Oh yeah,
Who's
that's right.
the
That's right. I think
villain.
I was getting
Um,
it confused with. I think I saw the trailer for The Burbs, where I think the villain is Jack Whitehall.
yeah. But it's really good. It's if I think if anyone's like a fan of Luther, it's
Yeah,
a very similar kind of vibe, like homicide
cool.
detective and all different
Yeah.
things going on. It's quite
Love a bit.
dramatic, very well acted, very pretty looking, and
Mm.
it looks expensive. It's got that Amazon
Love
money.
a bit of Luther. Love his
Yeah.
coat.
Oh, Luther's the best.
Yeah,
Bring that
and
back.
again, that got a bit silly, didn't it? After a while, but
Yeah,
in a
I
kind of
love
good
it.
way.
I
Like it
Yeah, I
didn't
was.
love
see
it.
any of the returns of Luther. I saw the original run, and then I haven't seen the bits where he's come back
Original
to
Oh,
runs
do
it's
10
more
out of
great.
10.
Luther.
It's all great. I genuinely think Luther is scarier than any horror film I've ever watched.
Is it
Yeah.
when that person followed that woman on the bus? Remember that episode?
The bus, because I don't drive, so I'm a long time user of public transport. The one with the two housemates where the guy is like hiding in her wardrobe.
Yeah.
Oh
The fella
God.
when the horrible tongue man who comes to your
Yeah,
house pretending to be in the polis and says, "Oh, is there anyone here that could help at all?" And it's like, "No, no, there's no one here." Why are you doing that face? Oh no.
Yeah.
The man that
Uh,
bonks you on the head with a hammer, Mr. Punch.
But that the one where, yeah, because I work in an open plan office in like a city centre, and the one where those twins come in and just start freaking
oh
hammering
God,
people over the
yeah.
heads.
Oh my God.
Honestly, it gave me nightmares. And now every time the door opens to my office, I'm like, do they work here? They better.
Too much Lufa, too much 911. Your bloody heart rate's through the roof. Wasn't there?
Yeah, I had really bad anxiety. I had the day off on Monday because I'd just come back from holiday, and I spent the whole day binging 911. And my boyfriend came home, and I was like, I feel really anxious. And he was
Why am I so
like,
stressed?
and then as he came in, a man was being like scalped by a motor of a car, and he was like, maybe this is why you're anxious. And I was
Yeah.
like, nah, that can't be anything to
It's
do with
not
it.
related.
Look, if you don't come up
Completely
with
unrelated.
sensible ideas, just fuck off back out.
Yeah.
Uh,
Um,
Andy, have you seen anything?
A couple of little bits, Ben. I've been doing some mopping up film-wise. It's been
Oh yeah.
very nice of a lot of folks that also had their short films screened over at Glasgow Fright Fest have been in touch. I
Mm.
won't have the chance to go through everything in full detail right now, but I have had the chance to watch A Hand to Hold, speaking to the writer and director of that on Friday. So watch this space for a
Oh,
full
nice.
description of that film, where we have after an old man passes away holding his wife's hand. Even though he's long gone, he is still holding on. And it's a
Let
horror comedy.
go.
It's a great deal of fun. I really liked it. Um, Also, Foreign Bodies, a short animated film that was at Fright Fest Glasgow. The animation style is almost like sort of crepe paper. It is drawn, but it's got like a real physical, like paper feel to it as well. And it is horrible. I don't want to say anything about the thing, but imagine a foreign body, something under your skin, desperate to get out, but animated in what would be a very child-friendly fashion on paper. It's about 3 minutes long. Great 3 minutes of your life. I also watched a film called Plastic Surgery. Hopefully, we will catch up with the team surrounding that as well, which is about a surgeon just before she's about to go off on maternity leave. All of a sudden, has some surgery work to do with some strange items that are found inside patients' bodies. Again, short film, poignant environmental message that goes about it, but also some real good schlocky gore effects to play as well. And then at time of recording, I have a few minutes of another film that was kindly sent to us called Nazar, which is more of a traditional narrative about a man who sort of challenges his friend's superstition that he has a band around his wrist that apparently, according to his grandma, protects him from evil spirits. And he's one of those friends. You know the type, Ben. You've been to Tenerife. He's been to 11 Reef. He's one of those fellas. So he really challenges him on this. He says, "Oh, well, you just cut off if only your grandma believes in it. Why don't you chop that off?" And
Yeah.
then what curse will he bring about to him? This is a cliffhanger for me. I'm only halfway through that one before I ran out of time today. But you know me in a short film. Wonderful to see them all. I'll be posting my reviews in full
Hell
once I've
yeah.
absorbed them all, and we're hoping to catch up with most, if not all, of the teams behind those for a little short film showcase bonanza of
Mm.
little bonus episodes that we'll put out to chat about them with the creators. Because you know how it is over there, everybody. The short films that make an impact today are the features, or the creators behind the features at very least, that we'll be excited about as new independent horror movies in a few years' time. So you got to get in on them before they're too important to talk to us, mate. And that's what I'm doing right now.
There we go. As much as you love a short film, Andy, I love a bloody documentary.
You do.
So,
The opposite. You love a long documentary.
a long documentary, long as possible. But I watched A Thousand Women in Horror. It's on Shudder now. It started streaming from last Friday. Documentary is a deep dive. Obviously, it's based on the 2020 non-fiction book of the same name, Alexandra Helen Nicholas. And yeah, this is great. It kind of like is broken up into chapters from like how women are represented in horror movies and how women have created horror movies from like girlhood through to teenage years, through to like womanhood, and then the older generations as well. It's really interesting. Loads of people involved, including Annalise Lockhart, Sarah, Gigi Salguero, Kate Siegel, Toby Poser. Andy, you've met her from
Oh,
Mother of Flies.
Amazing. Yeah.
Absolutely. Um,
legend.
yeah, and it's just really good.
And
And
996 other women.
yeah, there are 996 other women as well. I think, yeah, rather than break it down, it kind of the kind of the point it's trying to make, I guess, is that of course there are more than even 1,000 women in horror in the world, even.
Yeah. I'd say there's at least double that amount of women.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's a really good documentary. I think it's another one that's getting good reviews as being like a good, but maybe still like a surface level one. I think if you want more of a deep dive, maybe the book would be for you. Maybe it could have been like a series. It could have been like a six-parter, maybe instead of a 90-minute documentary. But still, it's well worth checking out. Um, and the other
Nice.
thing I wanted to mention is a film called Dead Lover, which is, I think it was in select theatres from March 20th. I know Ashley B. Red got to go and see it, a special London screening. Now, basically, the kind of gimmick surrounding the screenings of this film is that you get given a card with scratch and sniff panels, and a number will pop up on the screen while you're watching it, and you kind of scratch and sniff. The face that Liz just pulled is kind of like the face I made. Not really into
Yeah.
scratch and sniff. I felt like they all kind of smell the same, but
Not
yeah.
relating to a horror film. I just worry what it'll smell like.
Exactly. Well, this is about a gravedigger, a rotten smelling gravedigger who's
Mm.
desperate to find love. Grace Glowicki writes, directs, and stars as a horror comedy. And I had such a good time with this. This is so madcap and weird. I would kind of describe it as The Lighthouse meets The Mighty Boosh. It was
Okay,
just
we're in.
Okay.
was it was very, very weird, very strange. Loads of really interesting performances, loads of like gender swapped performances as well going on, which was great. Grace Glowicki is doing such a weird accent. It reminds me of Jamie Demetrio in Stafflet's Flats. It's
Oh.
Okay.
kind of like it's kind of like European, but it's also not, and it's kind of like English, and it's all. I don't know what's going on there. I'd love to know if she was inspired by Staff at all, because the things she kind of says are just like the things we got like, broken English, but just it is kind of poetic in a way. I guess that's what Staff does.
Well, that sounds incredible. I've got it on my list to watch. I couldn't get around to it because I was fighting for my life trying to get to the end of a substantial video game, which I left it to 2 days before we recorded to even start properly. But
I'd
we made
recommend it.
it.
Obviously, I didn't do it with the stinker vision. I didn't get to do the scratch and sniff thing, but I would have liked to just to see what the whole process was like. But
I
yeah,
remember
I
when
recommend it. I guess it might be available on. I know it's in select cinemas, this side of the pond and the other, but I'll probably get a digital release at some time soon.
remember when Scratch and Sniff became a thing. Certainly in an era where I was growing up, there was a time when comics had it, and there was definitely gendered marketing shouldn't be a thing anymore, but there definitely was. And girls marketed Scratch and Sniff were nice things. It's like this one smells of bloody strawberries, doesn't it? This one, nanas. This one, sweets. And then boys, it was like farts, sick,
BO.
Accurate.
babies, yeah,
I had
sweat.
I
And I
had
was
a
like,
Goosebumps scratch and sniff calendar. It was horrific. They all smell horrible, but like the same.
yeah,
Didn't like it. Made my
I don't
room smell
understand
as
that.
well.
Why,
Yeah,
why,
that
why
was a
did
smell.
why did marketers assume that as a gender we liked horrible smelling things?
I don't
Horrible
know.
smelling things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, you've got us there. Um, but yeah,
Oh,
that was it.
Sorry, Ben, there was one more thing. I'll mention it quickly because I have an interview of that coming up. I watched a film on Prime. Andrew DeBerg, the writer director, got in touch with us and pointed us direction towards a film he's made called The Demoness. You'll hear me
Oh
speak
yeah.
to
No.
Andrew in an upcoming interview episode. I think I texted you at the time, Ben. All the time in the world for a low budget independent film. On so many levels, this shouldn't work. It shouldn't. It shouldn't work. kind of fucking loved it. I kind of loved it. There are moments where it's almost performed as a stage play. The limits of the budget. So it's a demon who um she's a succubus, and she really loves impressing her boss, aka the devil, by putting humans through as much suffering as possible.
Ah,
And there's just it's set in LA. It's got lots of American sensibilities. Andrew lives and works in the US, but he was born and raised over here. And the way the dialogue works, it has just got such a subtle Britishness to it, and there's almost elements of it. The best thing I could compare it to was imagine if demons and so on, but The Office. But it's not meant to be like that. It is played straight as a horror movie where there is this character there, this demoness who wants to do murders on people, and she'll sometimes phone up Satan with an idea, and he'll be like, I'm really busy. What are you calling me here for? And she's like, oh, well, I want to do some. Can you make me just look like a sexy woman so I haven't got to be dressed as a demon this whole time? It's like, all right, but you've got to kill 10 people in the next month. That's your KPIs. Otherwise, I'll be really angry. She's like, I'll do it. And there's just something wonderful about seeing people throw their whole chest in the delivery of an independent film and take it as it's intended.
mm.
And I think there's just some wonderful, fun performances to be had from this. When I speak to Andrew, you'll see in the interview this moment when I'm talking to him, and I say, I'm sort of on her side, and maybe I surprised him. Was it really? And I was like, yeah, she's funny.
Says more about you than
I want
him,
to
I
see her
guess,
getting the
doesn't it?
big promotion from the devil. Yeah, it's on Prime Video. You can either rent or buy it on there if you have a subscription. You can just watch it. And I think for a certain audience, if you're like me, and I know I am, you'll quite enjoy this.
Hell yeah.
Apart
Sounds
from
good,
that, though,
man.
I played the
Sounds
bloody
good.
game, didn't I?
Yeah. Apart from that, we all played a bloody game, and it is Resident Evil Requiem, a 2026 survival horror video game developed and published by Capcom, the ninth main Resident Evil game following Resident Evil Village 2021. Features a new playable character, FBI analyst Grace Ashcroft, who investigates a series of mysterious deaths involving the survivors of the Raccoon City incident with the aid of federal agent and returning protagonist Leon S. Kennedy.
Leon Sexy Kennedy.
What's kind of amazing about this is that Leon's involvement was kind of kept hidden for quite a while, wasn't it? We saw trailers, we saw gameplay, and we didn't hear anything about Leon coming back, did we?
No, well, until we had like the second trailer, then it was like, here he is.
But I
Oh
remember
my
watching it,
God.
watching the trailer without knowing Leon was going to be in it, and when he was, because it was on like State of Play or something,
Hmm.
I soiled myself.
Same.
I know
I
Leon
feel that
answer.
I've been watching all of them this year, like State of Play and things like that, just in the hope, just for a
Yeah.
glimmer of it. And it's so funny because me and like my group chat that we're like with people like Amber in, we're messaging all the way through these game things like fuck's sake, another anime thing, another fucking Final Fantasy looking, Assassin's
Stop
Creed ass
giving me
looking
live
game.
service games, you piece of shit.
Giving me open world medieval people fighting with swords. We want another Silent Hill and we want another Resident Evil. And yeah, Leon. As soon as the car door opened, I was
Mm.
just like,
Driving a bloody
"Daddy's home,
Porsche.
let's go!"
Yeah, super, super exciting. And I think like Leon is just the best, isn't he? Because I feel like Chris is a bit serious. I always like Jill. For me, Jill was always like the number one. But I feel like off the back of the four remake, playing like the two remake, the four remake, and now Requiem, now I'm a bit like, okay, maybe my someone's twisted my arm and it's Leon now.
Mhm,
Still, justice for Jill Valentine. I would like to see her more in the modern games. Obviously, the Resident Evil 3 remake happened, but it was a bit short,
mhm,
wasn't it?
Yeah.
But Leon with the quips and the fact that, and again we're going to be spoiling the whole game. The fact that he's kind of in peril throughout this, we're like, oh no, is he gonna? Surely
Poorly.
not.
Yeah. So Liz, you're allowed to disagree. He's your favorite character from the franchise, right?
Yes.
And then Ben, you're going with Jill.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, I think it always was Jill, but I feel like after Requiem, it might be a bit of a tie.
Yeah, they're both up there for me. I was always a Jill player in the original Nemesis. I had a great deal of time for.
Hmm.
Um, side as let's get a bit older, Ben. You relate more to Barry Burton, but I grew up in the 90s as well, where the absolute epitome of cool was leather jacket and a pair of sunglasses. So not against Wesker, and per his words in Resident Evil 5, the human race probably could use a slight winnowing.
7 minutes is all I've got to spare to play with you. Zeno, though, even though we don't necessarily find out that he is definitely a Wesker copy in any way, he is absolutely decked out, right? He is.
Yeah.
It
It's
was
it's
such a red herring, though, when the door started opening. I felt like as the door rose to like reveal Zeno, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
oh, it's not, it's
it
not him.
gives you like 90% of the puzzle pieces, right? But
Right.
it feels like the plot is buried somewhere in a DLC that didn't happen or a file that we didn't find or so it's strongly implied in this game. I guess the first bit of deep lore here is that there is a technology whereby there is genetic memory and you can implant the memories of someone and their personality from one person to another. And we got it in side game Resident Evil Requiem 2, which featured a character called Alex Wesker, which was his sister, who was
Did you mean
looking
did
to.
you mean Revelations then?
Yeah, sorry, what did I say?
You said Requiem.
Requiem, of course. Yeah, Revelations. Other R
Not
words
being
are
a dickhead
available.
about it, just making sure.
No, it's good to hold people accountable, Ben. Yeah, so in Revelations 2, there is an
Yeah.
Alex Wesker character who there is implied that she could transfer consciousness into them, but we never get that. And if like I don't want to dive straight into critiques, I wouldn't have minded saying, oh, actually, this technology, a file that goes, we've implanted Wesker's memories. He's sort of, but not quite him.
Mm.
This game tries really hard to like recall the past and bring in nostalgia a lot. I feel like Revelations might have been a step too far, like
But well,
referring
it
to
isn't
it
though.
like
That's
that.
the thing. I think because it Revelations isn't directly referenced because
No.
that plot thread
Well,
has
no,
never
of course,
been
that's what I'm
picked
saying.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Um.
it's never been picked up. Neither has Wesker's kid. He was in six
Yeah. He
and like
turned
I
up
don't
after
know,
six.
went to
Yeah.
Disney World and then
I'm loving that Sherry is back though, because that was another
Yeah.
detail that was kind of hidden. We didn't necessarily know who was in the control room talking to Leon. Leon's got a wedding ring as well, right?
Yeah.
Any theories on that?
Um, I did have theories on it, but I like what Capcom have. I think it was Capcom that have like released a statement this week saying, it wasn't necessarily a specific person that he's married to. It's just a sort of reminder to the fans that he has got something else. He's got someone to go home to, and he's got a
yeah,
family and
it's a
stuff.
Fitbit.
I quite like that. Like, I would probably prefer for him if he is married to a woman or a man. I would probably prefer for them to not be a character in the game and for it to just be someone
Yeah.
unrelated. And
I
it's
because I feel like if it was
he
Sherry,
gets to go home at the end of the day to like his
yeah,
family or whatever and just enjoy his life, what's
because I
left of it.
guess it could just be anyone, but the options are
Yeah.
Ada, Claire. People said Sherry, but it's kind of weird because he met her
Too
when she
He
was
was
young.
a
looked
little
after as
kid.
a kid. Come on, don't be
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, I know
Um,
exactly. People have said that.
don't be
Yeah.
weird, people who are suggesting that. Get outside. But like, I mean, if it's not Ada he's married to, better not be flirting with her next time we see her. Come on, Leon, don't spoil it.
They've
I
always had a
don't
weird
know.
relationship, haven't they?
I don't want it to be Ada. She's too mean to him.
She's mean to him. She's like, "Oh,
Yes.
I dead fancy you, but also your life is at risk now because of something I've done."
I'm going to put you in a bit of risk, but then sometimes save you if it gets real bad.
But
Yeah,
also fair play to her because you would flirt with Leon regardless of whether you
Mm.
cared about his life or not.
you're in
He's
like a
just got
dangerous scenario like that, you're gonna have to.
yeah.
He's got the one-liners.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
dressed. He's got a
Ada's
Porsche. He's got a Porsche, a lovely watch. He is got the
Ripped.
yeah.
well
He's
ripped. We think, and also the like the scarring, like the kind of the
degenerative
T
disease he's
virus
currently
stuff.
rocking. Yeah.
That's kind of hardcore, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some
He
people
got
would have that
hotter as
tattooed
the
on.
game went on.
He got or has he got more and more diseased?
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, Ada has got form for that though, because if you're going back in your lore, we know that Ada's ex was a fella called John,
oh yeah, of
who
course.
you had to log into his computer in Resident Evil 1
Yeah,
to wasn't she his password?
yeah, that's right.
Umbrella two strikes now. We'll come up to the other one later with
Yeah.
really poor password security.
And
That's
what
not
about?
enough letters.
Oh yeah.
No special characters in there, not a number.
Oh.
The
We're
How do you?
magnitude of
sounding
stuff that's
closer
hidden
and
in
closer to 50 the more you talk,
Oh no.
Password
What?
security. I work in IT and even I didn't think about it like that.
there. God,
How
I
do we
think
feel
about these.
about Grace as well as a playable character? Obviously, a character that I guess has an arc. Like starts off like I'm kind of glad that we don't end up as Grace as a total badass by the end of the game. She's kind of like still the same, a little bit more competent. I feel like maybe her story was with sorry, no, what's her mum's name again?
Emily.
Sorry,
Oh, Alyssa.
Alyssa
Alyssa.
Ashcroft. Maybe done a bit dirty. Obviously, I guess for the
Yeah.
Outbreak fans as well, the fact that she does die and that we don't really get many more answers other than she was just killed in that instance. There's no like,
That
yeah,
fella did it. The
yeah,
hoodman.
yeah, because we
Yeah.
don't find out who that guy is anyway. He's just a man, and he hooded fella.
Eat shit, shove him out the window. That's it.
Yeah,
Goes out like Samuel L. Jackson in that Star Wars film.
but I guess this isn't the first. I guess this isn't the first instance of a Resident Evil game swapping between characters. Obviously, we've had that in Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 0, where you can swap at will as well.
I mean,
Uh,
bring back Billy for another game.
bring
The only
back
man
Billy.
as hot as Leon.
He's a bloody murderer, don't he?
No,
Was
he
he?
isn't. You've built into the bloody thing. He
What?
didn't
Oh, no,
murder
he
anyone.
wasn't. He wasn't a
He got
murderer.
he got Arnold Schwarzenegger in The Running Man, where basically they went kill these innocent people. He went, nah. I guess what framed then? I suppose
Framed. Yeah, I just remember he had a big old
he's
tattoo on
bloody
his arm.
buying into Umbrella's propaganda. Old Ben.
There's a lot of bloody propaganda. Bloody Oswald Spencer just going, actually, all this evil I've done, can I just hit undo?
Feel bad about it. Yeah.
I'm gonna do one nice thing weeks before my death.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, and Gideon. I mean, Gideon, the snakiest snake man ever. I was hoping for a big old snake boss at the end.
What I don't understand with him is that he's got all these like goggly glassy glasses things on, like with about 40 different really thick lens, but he hasn't got X-ray vision. He can't see you when
Wow.
you're hiding behind a card, like behind a wooden box.
You can
That
do
makes no
red or
sense
you can
to
do
me.
green.
That's what I mean. It makes no sense to me.
It was because it
I
was
mean,
a bit Buffalo Bill, wasn't it? I guess. And
yeah.
why
I
do
mean,
all
he looks
these
cool, but
umbrella scientists? Sorry, go on, Liz.
no, I was just gonna say he looks cool, but I just get X-ray vision, man.
Yeah.
Why are all these umbrella scientists, right? He's 8 foot tall. He's got like black eyes, slick back hair,
Gold
and
teeth.
who's the villain in this story then? Who could it be? And he's just there like
I
I
feel
didn't
like Dr. Gideon he is presented by this game as if a character that you're meant to know. And I'm not sure
Yeah.
whether I'm angry about it or I'm impressed. Because it's kind of presented here that you will just accept it. Like there are so many Resident Evil games now, similar to MCU right now. It's like I don't we need to we shouldn't assume that you've seen all of them. So sometimes it's just you don't need to know this fella because these guys do.
Mhm.
It's like, watching EastEnders for the first time. Like, do you know this person? It doesn't matter, you'll catch up. Like, he's a guy that is the new baddie, but it is presented very much like, oh, my old nemesis, Doctor. We've had so many confrontations. You and I have been at each other's
he
throats for years.
literally is a nemesis as well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
isn't he?
I'm glad that you said that because I felt the same because obviously I'm new, way, way newer than you guys are to the franchise. And a lot of the earlier games I only played like once because they're quite clunky and stuff now. So I struggle to remember all of the lore and the details that you guys have locked in your vaults.
It's
But
only type personality.
when he first came on in like the trailer, I can remember thinking like, is this someone like massive that I'm meant to remember and it's like this big comeback? But then the internet was telling me no. So
Mm.
I
yeah,
genuinely
it's
had to make sure I wasn't being gaslit because for a moment I
yeah.
was like, are you the main villain? Both of you, him and Zemo. Like, are you are you the villain in one of those CGI films that I've watched once? And I had to like
Yeah,
literally
no, I
look
did.
up and I was like, no, they're not in either of
No.
them. Those were other fellas.
Well,
Yeah.
Z, I guess when you said about Xeno being a red herring, like yes, I do kind of like the way he went out though. I feel like that was pretty cool, like trying to sort of
I think it was
showing
cool.
that
Yeah.
he rather than him turning into a big old beast and we having to fight him or we have to fight him Wesker style where he's dodging the bullets and stuff. I'm
Yeah.
glad that they just kind of went, actually, he's bloody dead now.
Yeah. I do
God, where's my
feel
TARDIS
though
gone?
I do feel though, like for me, and obviously we'll get to the ending in a bit, well, endings, but I do feel like Requiem feels like the first half of two games. And I
Mm,
think it's because of all these questions that we have, like,
yeah.
who are these people? Like, where did they come from, sort of thing. And like, what is his relation to Wesker and things. So it makes me more excited for what's next to come. I
They
hope
have
that
announced
it's
DLC,
just
haven't they?
yeah, and
Mm.
I
Yeah,
hope that that will clarify some things, or I hope that, the next game will be I hope it'll be like a two-parter, kind of like
yeah.
in the same way that
Yeah.
Biohazard and Village were, where they're two very different games, but they're carrying on the same
Mm.
sort of
Fills
story, I
those
think.
gaps in. I mean,
Yeah,
I've seen they've announced DLC, but you can't trust anything nowadays. I've seen all sorts of stuff pop up on the feeds about there's Ada DLC and there is a different bit of
they
Grace.
haven't
It was like what's fake and what's
They
real.
announced
No.
a
I
video and
haven't
they
seen
kind of
that.
played into it where he
Yeah.
had all these like fake images, didn't he, that he was scrolling through,
Mm.
flipping through, and then he went story DLC. It
They have
didn't look cool.
definitely said that there is a DLC coming.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because there was
they have
an
said that.
official announcement, but they definitely haven't specified like who it
No.
is or what it is. They've just said, I think they just said like extra content.
Yeah.
So that could
And
mean
the last few games have had
more.
the last three, so Biohazard, Village, and now this. They had some really
Mhm.
good DLC
Yeah.
Yeah.
with some really interesting bits of the story. The bit from Biohazard, I like the additional story, and for good or ill, I liked their story about the uncle with his robot punches. That was
Oh
great.
yeah.
I
Chat.
loved Rose's DLC for
Yeah,
Village.
Yeah.
I
it was
thought that
good.
was absolutely
But
great.
just the only thing that freaked me out about it is just too far in the past. Don't like it.
Yeah.
This one takes place in 2080. It's not that, but you know, you know what I mean. It was just a bit weird. Um, but yeah, I guess this game has got something for and different fans of different eras of the game. You've got like the survival horror, scarce resources. You can't really fight. You're running around. There's a pursuer enemy when you're just Grace with the one bullet in the Requiem and then the lighter, and then it just goes balls to the wall, all out action with Leon. Um,
Pursuer enemies are their new favorite thing, right?
what was that?
The pursuer enemies are their new favorite thing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean the pursuer enemies were always been kind of there, but now they're like there is definitely a pursuer enemy in this
Yeah.
new
I
game.
like the additional mechanic for the opening Grace section. It becomes less relevant as the game goes on, but the facility that you find yourself in that has all the various zombies, but ones that, because of well-known character that with big history with Dr. Gideon, because of his experiments, there is this there's several zombies that sort of remember an aspect of their own personality. So whether you
Yeah.
were an opera singer that did loads of dancing about and shouting, whether you're a big giant chefman or just some poor fella who loved turning the lights off, switch somebody
Oh.
lights off.
Well,
Yeah, that makes it kind of scarier and sadder though, because it kind of
Mm.
humanizes them. Like the one that's like banging he's got like a drip. What are they called? The like stands that
Oh
have like a
yeah, the
Oh yeah, like the
IV
drip
thing.
stand. You could like
yeah.
You can kite the other zombies into him though to
Yeah,
get them
but he's
smashed up,
like
couldn't you?
he's like keep the noise down, shut up and stuff, and he's just really like losing his mind, and I'm just like
Mm.
it's kind of sad. I kind of
Yeah.
feel a bit sorry for them. I'm obviously
Very
going to shoot them
triggering.
in the head, but it
Let
is quite sad.
if
Very
we just
triggering from a
mention
horror perspective because,
Mm.
certainly loads of flashbacks to living with parents. Hate noise, hate me leaving the lights on all the time. Leave the lights on. Dad, we
Yeah,
want all illuminations down here. All right. Go around, switch on. That's how I trick my dad around the house. I just go around and switch lights on. And then when he goes to turn them off, I can sneak around him.
yeah. They're just 80s and 90s parents.
Yeah. What are these lights doing on?
Love that.
Okay, so story-wise, it's set in October 2026. It's 28 years after the
Mm.
destruction of Raccoon City. Um, and basically we start with Grace as she's the FBI analyst. Her mum, Alyssa, what do I keep saying Alyssa? Is that right?
It's Lissa, isn't it?
I'm getting confused by Alyssa
Believe in
because that was
yourself.
like a character in the Silent Hill game, film, wasn't it? Um, FBI analyst, her mum, Alyssa Ashcroft, was obviously killed a few years before at this hotel, and then her boss,
The
completely out of
word, the
order.
true villain of the film. Like, I know that I know that your mum was murdered in this
Yeah,
hotel, and I've got access to hundreds of other analysts. Can you go and do this?
Yeah,
yeah.
a new.
Also, just quickly on Grace, can I just ask, what FBI training has this child had? Because I understand it's like a triggering situation to go into that specific building, but
Mm,
even when like she's faced with someone in peril, she's like, oh, what should I do? And it's like, you're an FBI agent. Surely you've had
yeah,
basic first aid training.
yeah, I know what you mean. Maybe like
I
her
love Grace.
character was a
I
little
love,
bit.
yeah,
It was a little bit too like nervous, and I don't know.
damsel in distress, a
Yeah,
little bit
and
too technical.
it's not been something that this franchise has sort of had problems with in the past. I mean, even well, actually, wait there, Ashley. I'm literally just about to say that, but then
Yeah,
Ashley.
at least she's not annoying as Ashley.
Stick her in a suit of
Ash,
armor, she'll be fine.
stick her in a suit of armor, either in that cupboard, she'll be absolutely fine. But yeah, obviously, but playing as a character like I know we play as Ashley very briefly in Resident Evil 4, but playing as a character like that is interesting. And I guess, yeah, she doesn't transform into like this hero, but she does become more and more capable
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
time goes on. I guess as we introduce Emily as well, it's almost like it's not that Ripley was ever sort of not capable anyway, but Ripley kind of changes when Newt is introduced in Aliens, doesn't
Yeah.
she? And that's
You
kind of
can kind of change your
similar as well.
behaviors. Change your behaviors when there's someone else that you need to protect, right?
Yeah.
Like when you need to get a kid out of something, or like in a real life situation. I don't like picking up a spider, Ben. I don't like it at all. I'd
Yeah.
prefer not to, the bride style. But
What if a
um,
massive one
but
was
yeah,
coming at you?
if then there is a spider and and there's a kid in the house that's like, oh no, a spider, then it's like, well, don't worry, I, an adult, will deal with
I, an
this.
adult, will scream, but I'll also get rid of it.
You do it
Um,
yourself, or internally, you're like,
Yeah.
So the interesting story here is obviously that there are lingering T-virus mutations, Raccoon City syndrome, for everyone basically who survived Raccoon City. So obviously Sherry, Leon, and then there are like a list of people who have died as well. I think like people have done a bit of research into who they could potentially be in terms of the story. Um,
assuming Claire's just fine because she just rocked up on the day.
don't know. That's the thing. This could be another side to it. Do you know what I mean? I did keep thinking though when this ended, I was like, he better have got one for Sherry. I kept thinking
He
if he
did, he
hasn't
mentions
got,
it, says there's a dose of this cure with your name on it. He goes, whoa, hang
imagine he
on,
forgot.
Yeah.
probably a waiting
Jesus.
list.
Um, so yeah, obviously we start off playing as Grace, and she goes to. There's a new victim discovered in the derelict Renwood Hotel, which is where her mother Alyssa was murdered 8 years earlier. And inside the hotel, we're kind of introduced to the gameplay of Grace. The first person stuff. You didn't switch up the perspectives at any point.
Left it as normal, yeah.
I switched it up for a second playthrough just because I wanted to see how different it was each way. But obviously, there's a costume you can dress up Grace as Lady Dimitrescu if you want.
Oh, and you took that for yeah. I put on the funny costume, but left it in first person.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, because I was
Just so
playing
I,
Leon in first person, and Liz, you messaged me saying, "What kind of imbecile plays Leon in first person?" I was like, "Well, because then when the cutscenes turn up, it's like a little treat, you know."
yeah.
Physically
No,
You'll
I
play the
want the
game then and be
uncomfortable.
like,
treat of,
that's me, that is.
no, I want the treat of seeing him like shoulder open those cupboards and climb up the boxes with his big arms.
There is a moment
He's
though,
got
and
that shot all the time.
some of his animations though are like so good. That animation where you like, you know, where he like ducks under someone and shoots him in the back of the head.
Oh, it's so good.
I only got that like twice, but when I did, I was like, ah, hell
And it
yeah,
makes you feel like you're a badass for doing
Yeah.
it. You're
yeah.
like, oh yes, look at
It's
what I
like
did. When really you just were
Just
lucky.
press the
pressed
button.
R2.
Yeah.
There's a wicked shotgun in the mouth one as well when you're
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. That's good. Um, okay, so Grace, so she discovers a data disk left by her mum, which is like behind a painting. And Victor
and bearing in
Gideon.
mind she's a young adult in 2026, she's like,
What
why
is
someone
this?
3D printed the save button? What's this?
Ready? They love MO discs or little discs like that in
Love an
Resident
MO
Evil, don't
disc.
they?
Yeah.
Love it. Um, but Victor Gideon is milling about in there as well. Said he's been searching for her. Um,
You know what his biggest hobby is? Strangling people unconscious.
he loves doing that, doesn't he? He loves, and he is 8 foot tall as well. I do like. I feel like him like infecting everybody with his little. Is it? What does he do? Like a little
Turn you
blow
into a
dart.
zombie gun. He has like a little dart gun, right?
That's
Because
cool though.
the first
That was
policeman that you see goes, "Oh, I've been bloody stung by something. I'm a zombie now."
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
yeah. This was so obviously again first person, pretty horrific. You've got to like avoid he's gonna shotgun you, and you've
Yeah.
got to like whoa, and then
Scary.
stick a fire poker in his eye.
Love
Yeah.
it. I will say though, in that bit in the house, in that first like bit of the hotel that you go in, you know, when you find the door that's like held together by the wires and you have to find the wire cutter and you turn around, you're like, oh, how convenient, there's wire cutters right on the table. And it's all just a setup for that jump scare when the antlers fall off the wall.
Yeah.
That was the first bit of the game that really made me go, oh, like, oh, and I felt like my whole body, like,
There was a bit where like Victor, it looked like Victor like walked past the door as well. Do you remember
oh,
that?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I booked the day off work to
Mm,
play this game because that's just how sad I am. And
That's
I
that's
was
the
at home
dream.
on my own in the living room,
yeah.
all the curtains closed, pitch black, and on like a massive TV. And I was like, yes. And then a few minutes in, I was like, was this a mistake? Because I'm scared.
I guess what this game's good at is like putting you in those positions and
Yeah.
then letting you reclaim it as Leon,
Mm.
where you're just
Yeah.
like, right,
Yeah.
that's
Classic.
it.
Yeah.
And yeah, so pretty much after that moment with the cop and Victor Gideon, he strangles Grace unconscious and kidnaps her. And as he's leaving the hotel is when Leon turns up. I think he even says, "You gotta be fucking kidding me! I can't
Oh,
believe
Old
it."
enemy, Victor Gideon. Let's get after him.
Yeah, he like notices Leon's aura, doesn't he? Because he like turns around and goes, "Oh
mm.
bloody hell, Leon's turned up."
Yeah,
Mm.
up to that point, he's barely been bothered by any of the passers-by in that street
Yeah.
while an 8 foot tall man is carrying a woman. There's one woman who goes, "Is she all right?" He goes, "Yeah." Okay.
So, and this is such a great it like in sequence for the first sequence as Leon. I know we saw some footage of this anyway, but it's just carnage. It's just so good. The zombies attacking people, cars crashing, getting your first chance to like see loads of animations, like throwing things, like throwing weapons from the ground,
Yeah,
like your little finishing move, like John Wick finishing move. It is just so satisfying. And again, it kind of takes the zombie shooting mechanics from like Resident Evil 2 and 3, the remakes, where like they're a bit wobbly and they're coming towards you and you're firing shots and you're just missing. You're like, ah, fuck. And then they're on you. It's just like stress, but
Yeah.
it's so good. And obviously with Leon, the fact that you can upgrade weapons as time goes on, so like you just get more and more hardcore. Um, and the Requiem is badass as well, despite the fact that you give it to Grace for a considerable part of the game.
Yeah, and
Um,
there's no fucking ammo for it anywhere or way to like
no,
make it. I think I had about 5 bullets
yeah,
total my first go
yeah.
through.
I used the one bullet I had straight away. And,
yeah. What was it for the chef? Did you do it for the chef?
no, I didn't kill him. I didn't kill him until I shot him with Leon in another scene later.
Yeah, same.
I like it was just Didn't want to go back. There was a couple of zombies just around me. It was one of the cleaner ones, and I was like, "Oh fuck it! I want to get past you and see what's in here." Shot her in the head, and was like, "Thank goodness, worth it." Now I can just get on.
There's a trophy for blowing off three of their heads in one go with the Requiem.
Yeah,
And I
I'll
did
be
it
Yeah.
proud of
completely
that.
accidentally because I was like overwhelmed. It was like a bloater head one and like two others. I was like, bang. Oh, so sad.
Mhm.
It's just so satisfying, especially on like PlayStation with the haptic feedback and the triggers. Like it just feels
Yeah.
so all the weapons feel different in your hands.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, this moment obviously is just awesome with Leon just running through the streets. So he's a DSO agent. He's also got the Raccoon City syndrome, obviously, where it looks just like someone's got 3D printed filament all over their neck and hands. It
Mm.
just looks 30 bloody years later as well. Um,
When
and
did
he's,
it come on though? Because the
yeah, I know.
CGI movies are canon to
Yeah.
the games, right? So when he had that lovely family outing to Alcatraz recently,
Oh God, yeah, Death
he didn't have
Island.
it
Yeah,
then. It
it would
must
have
have
been after
recently
that.
come on.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I just love Victor infecting civilians with the T virus was badass because I just thought,
Yeah.
and the fact that obviously he's gone in and done that at the care center as well. He's obviously gone right. This place is no, I don't need it anymore, or we need to get out of here. I'm going to infect everybody.
Mhm.
Um, Leon's it says Leon's handler here. It sounds like it's Leon's carer, Sherry Birkin, helps track Victor's location, and this is when we get the Grace waking in the center. Obviously, this was in the trailer. Her upside down, escaping
Oh
confinement.
God.
Yeah, and then she's immediately stalked by a giant mutant thing known as
Big
the
baby.
girl. The baby? The
Well,
girl.
no, she's called the girl, but she is,
Similar to the baby in the village, I guess.
yeah, like a big. She's a big old bruiser. Don't know how. I don't know where they're shopping for her nighties, but it is.
Same place, same place Incredible Hulk gets his jeans.
Yeah,
Stretchy.
because it doesn't matter if you mutate into that or you're small to begin with. It's one size fits all.
Did you work out what was going on quite soon with this in terms of who she potentially was?
Yeah,
Is?
the empty room with a little hole in it was dead
Yeah,
giveaway.
it was a dead giveaway,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
And yeah,
It
so
was
the
cool though. I loved. I mean, that to me was like one of the scariest bits, with like all the flickering lights and
Mm.
having to find
Even like switching on the
light.
light, and then there's like a horse statue.
Oh God,
Oh, at
yeah,
the end of the bloody corridor, I was like, "What's that?"
yeah.
Oh,
It's bloody horse! Ah!
The
that
funny
was
thing is, I went like when I was playing it for the first time, I went into the dark room, like opposite the room where the lights on, and I flicked the light switch and it just flickered, and I was like, yeah, no, fuck that, and just like
Yeah.
walked back out and was like just went down towards the light because I
If
was
you've
like,
played enough of the games, you know that sometimes it just ain't worth it, is it?
yeah.
I don't need to know if that room is not light enough for me to see. There is obviously
Nah.
nothing I need to see in there, so let's just
Yeah.
go towards the light.
And
Whereas
someone's
like,
left you a good Babadook book in there to really freak you out as well.
oh my God, yeah, when I went into the room full of kids' toys, which is
Classic.
automatically just ugh, and then that ghost when it's like, "Did you see the shadow ghost who's
Oh yeah, the
watching you?"
book.
or whatever, I was
Yeah.
like,
Again,
"Oh,
that was a
really?
nice
Fuck no."
that was a nice carry on from Village, where obviously you had
Yes,
the Book of Shadows, and this was like the shadow,
yeah,
like the kids'
loved that.
storybook stuff, like that stuff.
Mhm.
Little raccoon toy as well. That was quite a nice little
Yeah.
The
touch.
baddies of Resident Evil have really victimized lots of children's authors. And then
Yeah.
while you're trapped in this facility, you write me a fucking bestseller.
um, Obviously
Poor Judith Kerr trapped in the facility.
you managed to avoid the girl. Like, there's a few things you got to do. Get a fuse to get out of there. And as you get out, again, this was nice because where this bit ended, you kind of like go back a few steps, and now you experience it as Leon. He comes into the care center. A nurse kind of like takes him to a room and says like, "Wait here. Well, oh, you want Victor? Do you?" I love how Leon was really like sarcastic in this moment, where they're like, "Yeah, we keep all of our business under wraps a little bit." He's like, "Yeah, of course you do.
Yeah, I
Yeah, of
bet.
course you do." And then again, it just goes absolutely insanely terrifying immediately when one of the doctors turns up, infected by the mutated strain of the T virus with a chainsaw.
Oh, it's so good.
Who knows
As
where he
soon
may
as I
go.
realised that I could pick up the chainsaw, I was like, right, let's go.
When it stops bloody spinning.
Yeah, I definitely realistically would have lost my legs a few times, I think,
Yeah,
if I was
yeah.
in that situation.
I
Just
know.
kept walking into it.
But yeah, this bit's awesome as well. And again, like the Leon bits, because you spend so much time with Grace where you're like kind of helpless, and this is even before you get a gun with this first section with Grace. When you're
Yeah.
Leon, it's over too soon, isn't it?
Yeah, you've got a
Yeah.
lot more power, a lot more agency, and you're just cutting through them at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not until things get really hectic towards the end game that, like the first couple of sections with Leon, you're so capable. It's kind
Yeah.
of the power that you have. Normally, the pacing of a Resident Evil game, right, is that you're shit, you shit, you shit, you shit, and then by the end, you're like, actually, I'm pretty well equipped to deal with
Yeah, because I
most
guess
things.
like Ethan was like the everyman pretty much. Like
Yeah.
he didn't have much experience. When limbs got cut off, he could stick them back on, but that was about it. Uh,
He was an immortal mold creature, but yeah.
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 So
Bless
yeah,
him.
this bit happens with Leon, and then we get like a prolonged section with Grace. Leon meets Grace, gives her the Requiem, and then he gets like captured by
He
Did
gets
you
Gideon.
choked out by Gideon.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah. Did you think that Grace had lost her foot when she's like crawling away? You know, when she's crawling away from the girl, or is that later on? I can't remember now.
That's the end of the section in the sewers when they almost
Okay,
get
I
out. But
will.
I did think
Oh
she'd
yeah,
lost
yeah.
it.
And
Yeah.
again,
I'll look
were you
at it.
just was you so
No.
used to Ethan losing limbs that you just thought,
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
I
pretty
genuinely for a
much.
moment when she almost loses her leg, her foot, I thought, oh, it's going to be Ethan again. We're going to
Yeah,
have another.
Yeah.
She's going to lose it and be able
love a
to just reattach
moldy.
it. Yeah.
Do you do anything with the hand? That bit when you do that section later on, you get the hand. I just got it in the box.
There's a puzzle.
Yeah. I
Oh,
had
I
to
haven't seen
Google
that.
this because I
Uh,
found it on my second play and I was like, wait, what do I need to do with
have
this?
you done it, Liz?
No.
I'm about halfway through, but you do have to like finish the game with certain things in your inventory and then start again.
Yeah. I haven't had the energy to go through
Yeah,
and do
I know what you mean. I'm a bit I'm kind of the same. So in this prolonged section in the care center when you're Grace, all of those individual zombies, as we mentioned, with their own individual personalities and behavior types and that, you've got to kind of like navigate your way around them. What's this in a care center? Lovely casino. Brilliant. Absolutely.
There's a bit of it's a bit like a cruise ship. There's people just having a
Yeah,
great
yeah,
time.
yeah. And then we get
You've got the
obviously
bar and lounge.
the bar and lounge. You can unlock various upgrades within there. And essentially, this whole part is just unlocking various things with different convoluted puzzles. Like the puzzles with the lungs and the heart was like a bit mad because all it was to get like
The wristband.
the wristband, which
She
surely could
can't
just
just she can't just cut it off with the giant axe, the
yeah,
A
giant like
knife that I
claw
carry with
thing.
me at all times.
yeah.
The guy
Um,
that you have to kill in that room is holding a giant saw,
yeah.
like a giant bone
The
saw,
surgeon guy.
and you kill him, and then you still have to go and get heart and lungs to wake them up.
Just undo it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just
It's
unfasten
all
it.
just classic over the top Resident
I
Evil
love
things,
it
isn't it?
though. It's so
Yeah.
Yeah,
stupid.
I love
It's
it
like
as well.
it's like your favorite tropes in a horror film, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's like there's something comforting about it being so ridiculous.
Yeah, because I've seen loads of like memes and like people have made TikToks where they're going, "Well, so you need to go to the bathroom." Well, this is Umbrella built this building, so you're gonna have to go and get two heads, two sides of a lion head, put them together, put them in this thing, do a little puzzle. What, just to go to the toilet?
Oh, that's
Um,
the fun of it.
there's obviously oh yeah, and then Chunk as well, big old Chunk, who
Mm.
appears at one of the top floors, just coming at you. You just like literally got to run away. I guess it's kind of again like a bit of a pursuer, but I guess he does go around on a loop. You
There's a
can kill
trophy for
him.
getting him though, right? Yeah.
What was that?
There's a trophy for getting
Trophy
him
for
as
getting
well,
him is
right?
Grace. I haven't done it. Anybody? Free
No,
med
Okay.
'cause I
injectors.
didn't yeah, I didn't wanna waste my injectors.
I love those injectors. Anyone
Yeah,
accidentally do it to a body?
Well, you do it to not stop them turning into Crimson
Yeah,
Head
but
Satan
still, that kind of
Blessing.
feels like
it's a
annoying.
waste.
I want it to get someone who's in my way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
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 I did it. I did the tutorial, then I didn't make any more. My murdering as Grace a bit out of character. I went full Lara Croft in the recent trilogy, where I've gone from being very scared in the cutscenes to when I'm playing, I do one shot, push you over, flip to a knife, and stab you
Oh yeah,
multiple times on the
yeah, that's
floor.
good.
Like,
That's good.
Love that.
Obviously, she finds Emily, a little girl in a cell. She's
cosplaying as
blind.
someone from the Beyond. Yeah, she's
Yeah, yeah. She got milky
Oh,
eyes.
X-Men.
oh, I love Emily.
Yeah, she's just
Little babe.
a few times you come back to her and you just like pick her up, and I'm just like, give her a warning first. All right, hey, it's me. I'm in the room.
Just going and picking her up all the time. Yeah, because ultimately, whereas a man says, "Buddy, stay away from her" before dying mysteriously.
Yeah,
Um, so we know there's something wrong, and she is mysteriously locked in the highest security like door from this section of the game, next to an empty cell with a mysterious hole in the wall,
Mm,
and is wearing the same outfit as the
yeah,
giant girl that's chasing you about.
yeah.
yeah,
I kind of liked though that she wasn't like inherently evil like a baddie. Because I think by the end, because I thought I felt all the way through until the point that she changed. I was like, I don't trust this little girl. Like she's
The-
creepy, she's weird.
she's going to be
And
another classic villain that we've known all this time.
yeah, I was just like, she's not a good person. She's like she's conning her and stuff like this.
My
She's
name's
working with
Emily
the other girl.
Gideon.
But then it wasn't. She was
Obviously,
really cute.
there's a bit where you take her to a puzzle to read the braille, and you have to like fend off all the
Don't learn
zombies.
the braille yourself from the other puzzles.
Yeah,
Or don't just push the buttons and see which one's which.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
It's a combination of yeah, but also at this point you know what the combination is, so just
yeah,
try. I'm going
just
to
try the
assume that this
buttons.
is star this time. This didn't
Yeah.
work.
yeah. Bloody hell,
That's
bloody
why
hell,
it doesn't let you
Grace.
just do it though, right? Because with that one, it just hard locks you out of the puzzle and
Yeah,
says, I can't do this. It's not like when you go to an escape room
Yeah.
IRL, and once you've got three numbers for that combination lock,
You
you've
can just
got
get
nine. You just guess the last number.
yeah.
But yeah,
I
it
hated
just
that bit though. I found getting Emily
oh
to
god, yeah,
the
that was
Braille
stressful.
room, that was the hardest bit of the whole game for me. And I think it was just because I just kept trying to just outrun them.
Yeah,
And it got to a point where I was like, because I had like hardly any ammo, and I was like, how am I meant to, one, get past all these people, or two, kill them all to then run past them? I
yeah.
don't even remember how I ended up doing it. I think it was a fluke, but it took me a long time, I will
Mm,
say.
I got
yeah,
quite lucky on that section. I did an awful lot of. I saved some of my bottles, and I got
Mm,
the man who doesn't
distraction.
like noise
oh yeah,
to do a
Oh, you
lot of my
were.
dirty work for him. And
yeah.
that's
Yeah,
apparently how you can do
He can
chunk as
kill
well.
Chunk apparently.
Yeah, you can one
yeah,
shot
yeah.
him.
Come on, shot Chunk.
Did you
Jesus.
figure that out yourself, or did you see that you could do that before you
I saw
played
a
it?
video, but I didn't
Uh,
get chunk. I just avoided him.
Do
But
you do you get the trophy
cheating.
if the IV guy kills Chunk? Do you get the trophy?
I got one for just making him attack someone.
No, but I mean like the trophy which means you killed Chunk as
I don't
Grace.
know. The wording says kill him as Grace, so I don't
Okay,
know whether they
we don't know.
count that or not.
We'll have a look. Um, yes, obviously there's that bit, and that's when the girl turns back up again and takes Emily, and then we get the old underground, under the hospital basement caves, whatever they are thing. This for
Love,
me was probably the most stressful, just
So
because
I
scary.
there was a lot of just like
love this.
yeah, just like that the combination of those plugs, like the fact that you had to open some bits and open others. Zombies sat around everywhere, so you're like, oh, I can't wait till these start getting up,
Hmm.
and then
That's
loads of
my favourite kind of puzzle, though, the ones where you've got to sort of like
yeah,
you've got to figure out, right, well, this door and this door need to be open, but you need to have this door open to open this one. I love
yeah.
stuff like that. My favourite kind.
That thing, and then obviously the conveyor belt with all the zombies, and you
Mm,
had to like survive that bit, pushing them
I
into.
liked that bit. That bit was great. I
yeah,
feel
really good.
I like
I
that
was
bit as well. I
Captain
will.
America on that. I was like, I could do this all day. I was just giving them a little shove. Don't you have to do
Yeah.
that? I've seen one of the clips I have seen now. I've finished it as well. Isn't that also the key to one of the puzzle things that you need for the thingies to
Yeah.
get a dolly.
You've got to
You've got
like
to
watch
convince
all the
loads of
bodies.
people.
You got to watch all the bodies drop into that processing thing for like 15 minutes.
What?
You got to like
Who's
put a
got
timer
time?
on. I don't know how anyone worked this out without like not knowing because it just feels
Yeah.
like so vague.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, you get that bit and then you manage to escape from the underground bit with Emily. That was pretty stressful as well. Running with her, like all the zombies
Oh, I
coming
just
coming out the
ate a load of
cells.
shit on that bit. Yeah.
I ate shit a few times because I kept forgetting which way to go. I like ran straight ahead at one point. I was like, oh God.
You can't put her down, can you?
No,
No.
you can't.
Is it,
And
no,
again,
you can only put me down in a nice clean safe. But this floor's wet and I'm wearing a white dress.
Yeah.
and obviously the girl that tries to get you as well right at the end, and then
Mm.
she manages to
Someone,
like come up and grab the lift
some idiots blocked the lift door with a pallet.
with a pallet of
Yeah.
bloody cement. Oh, but this whole bit, that whole bit was very like, I guess very Resident Evil 7. I guess even Resident Evil Village, like the bits in the basement when you first turn up at Castle Dimitrescu, it was a bit like that.
Yeah, I
Uh,
love it.
very, very stressful. Um, do you get to be Leon for a bit now?
You had Leon before this
Oh,
bit,
you
so
had
when
Leon
Grace
before
decided
the
to jump
basement bit.
down, then you kill a chunk-like creature with him in a little bit of a boss fight,
God,
right?
yeah, up in the attic.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's twins. There are two chunks. Um,
That
so
was
yeah, that.
great.
And I guess as Leon, you could just go around killing all the zombies you didn't kill as Grace in this instance, couldn't
That's
you?
exactly what I did. Just walked
Yeah.
around, karate chopped them all.
Because you get rewarded for however many you kill by like being able to upgrade your guns as well. So it was like it is an incentive to go around and kill everybody, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah, and again, that bit's good, but again, probably over too quickly. And then with the basement bit, and then we're back as Grace, and then the final bit you've got to do is like get that acid um to melt the little padlock, and that gets you the final one, isn't it? And then you've got all three of those little cubes, and you get out.
Oh, I
Yeah.
got this. I got that one second. It was the
So did
Braille
I.
one that I got
Oh,
last.
you got it second as well. See, I got it.
I got Brian
I
last.
got it. I got it third every single time for some reason.
No,
Weird.
it's the Braille one
Yeah.
last because then when you after the cutscene when you had the girl's hand off in the with the lift,
Oh
very
yeah,
Resident
of
Evil the one
course.
movie, then
Mm.
Emily's like, "Save this for you." It's like, "Good job, no one searched you when
Yeah,
you."
yeah, yeah. Well done. Um, and again, like Grace's inventory. Obviously, Leon's inventory ridiculous. Grace's inventory, like finding those little satchels, was the best. Oh God,
Yeah.
Frankie!
You
God,
chock
yeah.
us with satchels by the end.
This next part where you leave and there's the guy with the helicopter and you go into that thing. I don't know why, but this was the bit that felt like tonally a little bit out
Didn't
there
trust
for
him
me.
either. I was like, "Oh, I bad leg have you got?" Okay, right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mm.
I don't
Mm.
know. I feel like this is like later game for some reason. I feel like you need to leave and then Leon's helping you with the. It just felt a bit out of nowhere, like because you get introduced to a new area, like going into that office, going down underground, and then into to the sort of
I do like the
laboratory.
section though because basically
Yeah.
Dr. Gideon at that point goes, "Well, better fuck this up all up the wall then
He
because
does that
I've
weird
done
like
this area."
he does that weird laugh and then completely stops dead. Remember that
Yeah. He goes,
Oh,
"I've done it, sound ah!" and then just walks off. I guess he is on his own.
yeah. I like that bit though, with all the like. Is that the bit where you get the like gas canister
Oh
thing
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and you spray them all in the
like,
face with basically the blood clotting stuff that makes them
running
all
through the
burst.
blood and up the stairs through the blood and stuff? I
Yeah,
love
or
that.
Stressful though,
the
wasn't it?
waterfall coming down. It's a really good
Yeah.
little action sequence.
It
Mm,
just looks so beautiful as well. Like the whole game is just so well made and pretty.
yeah.
And I think I've got to give a bit like a huge shout out to the actress that plays Grace because her voice acting
Mm.
is phenomenal. There was a few times where I genuinely like felt a bit choked up for her. I was like, this God, she's having such a shit day and she really is going through it. I felt
You'll be
for her.
thinking about her boss. Said, "Yeah, good for me with it. Bit of closure, is it, mate?
Yeah. Oh,
Righto,
Oh, let's send her
straight
on her
on to
own anyway.
HR."
Let's send her with some partner or something, isn't it? Someone
yeah.
else, anyone else.
We can't spare
Angela
anyone else, Ben.
Angela Sant Albano. I guess she did the voice. Did she maybe also do the mocap as well? There
She
was like a
doesn't look
behind the.
she doesn't look dissimilar from the character, does she?
No, but
Mm.
sometimes either with the mocap they just like change the face model, don't they? With Resident Evil, they've usually got someone who's the face model and someone who does the mocap and the voice.
No, I think she did.
She
I'm
did.
pretty sure
Yeah.
I saw.
Yeah, she's really good.
Yeah,
Hasn't she said that she'd like to do a full stream, I think, of the game, like
Oh, yeah, that'd be
reacting
good,
along
wouldn't it?
as her
that would be really good.
character as well.
Yeah. And Nick Apostolides, is that how you say it? The
Yeah,
reprising the role of Leon S. Kennedy. He was obviously him in Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 4. So weird when you see like someone who does the voice of a character like that just chatting. You're like,
yeah.
excuse me?
Amber got to interview him for
Oh yeah,
Fangoria
of
recently.
course.
She
Very
said
cool.
it was lovely. It was really
Yeah,
nice.
that's
She
incredible.
was too scared to ask him to do the voice, though. I would have had to ask him.
Can
I'm
you
like,
record a
Yeah.
few personal lines for me? Just
yeah,
for me to
yeah.
listen back to in the comfort of my own home.
Could you possibly just put on Leon Kennedy's voice and call me a good girl or something?
Or just try and trick him into doing those things. Like,
Yeah.
oh, what would you say
Cricket.
if you called round your nan's house and her and
Yeah.
all her mates were gone? And then he'd be like, where's everyone gone? The bingo? Like, yes, done it.
Oh my God.
Although that he does a little callback to this in the next section, right?
What,
Because
when he's
obviously the helicopter takes off, it immediately crashes.
this was stressful. So helicopter takes off with zombies on it.
Yeah,
Good.
Stressful.
not
Helicopter
too
pilot
many.
man immediately dead, impaled, Final Destination style. And
Yeah,
great and Emily gets what, like a wound as well? Like a little I mean,
Yeah.
I thought she was done for in this instance. I mean, she pretty much was.
Yeah.
And yeah, the next section is with basically they're trying to get into the helicopter's crashed. Grace and Emily are trying to get into the chapel, and you, as Leon, from the rooftops,
cover them.
are covering them with a sniper rifle. Uh,
Very Metal Gear, isn't it?
do you know what? There's a lot.
I
I
think this
might
game is
mention this towards
very
the
Metal
end.
Gear.
This game's very Metal Gear. There's some the similarities that I mentioned at the time and have since like researched even more. The similarities to Metal Gear Solid 4 are very similar. Snake dying from something that
Yeah,
might kill him and might not goes back to original place to
yeah,
fight like a boss. Even the bit when Leon's like in the yellow corridor towards the end, like
yeah.
crawling up the corridor.
There's
There's a bit where Snake's like crawling through that
the
corridor,
microwave
the
corridor.
microwave corridor. There's
Have
so
you
many
played any
callbacks,
Metal
very
Gear,
similar.
Liz? I
No.
think you'd. I think, given your Resident Evil experience, you would love it. They're about to. And has it happened now? Have they finally got Metal Gear Solid 4 from its prison of PlayStation 3? Is it now
Yeah, so
available?
it's not available yet, but I think it's coming
It's
soon.
about to.
Metal Gear
But I
3
would
Snake
say,
Eater.
yeah,
It's similar. The way I would say it's similar, it's utterly ridiculous.
Okay.
yeah.
I like that.
That is the only other way. And all the characters are great, but like it's just so ridiculous. And yeah, the Metal Gear Solid 4 Resident Evil Requiem parallels are very evident as the game goes along.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Oh,
Added it to my long list of
you'll
things
love
that
the
I've written
drama
down.
as well. Like
so
I'd say
dramatic.
one to four in particular, incredible. One is dated a little bit, but it's if you got through the old Resident Evil games, you'd get through
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid 1. Now it's available on the PlayStation on like a modern console. And if you can strap in for some long cutscenes,
Oh
like
my
it is
God,
the best
cutscenes.
kind of bullshit. It's so good.
Cutscenes are unreal. Like movie length cutscenes. uh yeah, so obviously where you're defending Grace and Emily with the sniper rifle, this is pretty stressful. I kept thinking like I just could I just would be looking somewhere else and then I just hear her start screaming and I'd be like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I took my eyes off you for a second, and that's where you see
Yeah.
the chef as well, right? So
Yeah.
Chef comes back. I mean it must be a different chef, right?
I didn't kill him in the first one, so I assumed that's that fella. Get him.
I exploded him, I think. But yeah, luckily there's a well-placed little red barrel or a little explosive. Those little explosive things were good. Did you find yourself always throwing them, or were you like
Yeah,
shooting
I
them?
wazzed them
I
at
was
people all the
throwing it.
time.
I was throwing them as well, yeah. But sometimes it
Never
was annoying.
until I realised that they could also throw them.
Yeah, oh, that happened a few times, didn't it?
Oh, I like it when they pick them up though. Then it's like, guess what? Not today,
Yeah.
Megatron. You shoot them.
The guy at the top of the stairs when you were Leon in
Yeah.
the care center. Holy shit! I was like changing guns. I think I was like fuck.
Yeah. Run. So
Um,
good.
and then
That's
obviously
an
there's
unwritten rule. Don't fuck about on the stairs.
no.
No.
Bit of a boss fight in the chapel as well with that big bloater guy with all the glowing bits on him.
Yeah.
And
Very
I
Last
hate
of Us.
those.
I just kept struggling to get the one on his back for
Well,
ages.
that's my least favorite kind of enemy because
Yeah.
my 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 shooting's not that great. I tend to just, aim and close my eyes and
Yeah.
hope for the best.
I
So
You're
when
find
it's
racing it
one
out
where you've
there.
got to hit a direct target, I'm like,
yeah.
oh, for fuck's sake.
I find myself constantly like again, it's mainly with the zombies because they're a bit shambly, like
Mm.
shooting over their shoulder. I'd be like, yeah,
Yeah,
headshot, and then they kind of like drift out the
yeah,
way, and I'd be like, I've got one bullet.
yeah.
And the spider boss with his big glowing ass as well. That
Oh
was
my
pretty difficult.
god, the spider was so good.
Yeah.
As
Um,
soon as you see all the webs and stuff, oh
it
god.
was very Lord of the Rings, wasn't it? Just appearing
Yeah,
above you.
loved
Um,
it.
okay, yeah. So another bit with Leon in the chapel. This felt very Resident Evil 4 being in a chapel.
Mhm.
Um, it's not just the big bloater one. There's a couple of those bloater head ones as well. Turning up at like the worst time. You're like,
The
oh, fuck,
worst.
please.
Yeah.
When you run past a body and it starts mutating, you're like, oh Jesus. It's Crimson Head fear all over again. And with the
Mhm.
Crimson Heads in the remake of the original, I would just leg it.
Yeah.
And then you find out they can open fucking doors.
Yeah.
Oh God. Then there's like another prolonged bit. Well, not prolonged, but like a bit with Grace, another sneaky bit with Grace where you've got to go around pulling those levers, pressing those buttons to try and open up the hatch at the top with the girl
Mhm.
pursuing you. Mega stress,
Mhm.
right? Especially with the
I
button that was stiff, the
really
handle that's
loved
Yeah.
stiff.
I really loved that bit, and I had at this point I'd saved all of my after I used my first Requiem bullet, I'd saved my little bits of blood and I'd saved up all that rare metal, and I made myself a full complement of those. I think I had about 8 on me by the time I went down
Yeah.
there. And then basically every time you go to a new section, you turn up, I'd shoot her in the face and casually walk around
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
get to the light.
You need one bullet as well, don't you? Because when you actually open it, you have to shoot her as
Yeah.
well. And then she turns into a big old pile of mush. And that is when it seems like
Very
Emily.
Resident Evil Zero, like on this one, because
Mm.
this does feel like there is definitely original stuff in there, but it does feel at the same time, if you're only ever going to play one of these games, it's very much a greatest hits, and that is basically the final
Yeah,
boss
definitely.
of
Yeah.
Resident Evil Zero.
Yeah, it is definitely a greatest hits type game. Emily mutates into a monster, a very different monster with a weird
Mhm.
mouth and one big arm and one little arm. And poor old
Oh.
Grace is devastated.
See,
Um,
that's insane voice acting in that moment. Like, I genuinely felt guilty as Leon shooting this big monster. I was like,
yeah,
"Don't make me do it."
don't shoot her
I
vitals, whatever
didn't.
you do.
Yeah.
If you wait, it takes over in cutscenes. I didn't shoot her.
Oh, you didn't?
What?
Yeah, I didn't shoot because I thought, is this going to be one of those subtle good ending, bad ending things right
Oh,
now,
I
whether I
see.
choose to do something?
Yeah.
So I didn't. I had the gun pointed, but thought, wait a minute, and I didn't do it. But then, if you don't do anything for a while, the game just takes over and it does it for you in a cutscene.
Uh,
Oh.
forced. Um, Grace is obviously devastated. She abandons Leon, but then she leaves the facility with Victor and his benefactor, a representative of a new evil group called the Connections, named Zeno. And the
Mm.
Connections, I guess, are kind of like made to feel like they're like
Bad
pulling
businessmen, the real
bad
villains of this
businessmen
world.
pulling the bloody strings.
Um,
Um,
then like I know you love your Resident Evil lore. Did they completely abandon the Blue Umbrella thing
I think they did, yeah. The
that
blue
Chris
umbrella,
was
because the blue
working for
umbrella
at the
thing was
end of
like good
Biohazard?
umbrella, wasn't it? So
Yeah,
Chris
we're
Chris turns
Umbrella,
up.
but good.
Chris turns up at the end of Resident Evil 7 with the blue umbrella logo, and we kind of think, I think they abandoned a lot of stuff at the end of 7, didn't they? Just because they went, "We probably shouldn't have changed Chris's face so much, and blue umbrella as well. Um, but I feel like now, so going to the quarantine ruins of Raccoon City was like, this was kind of like what I was looking forward to the most after
Yeah.
all the trailers and everything like that. I thought, I hope it's a big, prolonged section. I hope it's not like right at the end we just go to Raccoon City. But we get a lot of Raccoon City. Obviously, Zeno, Victor, and Grace go there. Um, so basically, Zeno tells Grace that based on Victor's interpretation of Oswald E. Spencer's incomplete research, he believes that something called Elpis is Spencer's ultimate weapon, a highly contagious mind control virus. And
It's
obviously,
named for unknown reasons after the goddess of hope, but don't read into that.
yeah, don't read
Geniuses.
into that. Um, and then there's a bioweapon created by his deceased mentor. I've already said that. And he needs Grace somehow is essential to accomplishing this. Uh, and then obviously, I think he explains. Well, it's a little bit later, but Emily is one of many clones of Grace created during experiments to transfer Spencer's consciousness into a new body. Um, and then Zeno also reveals that the government missile strike used to destroy Raccoon City after the original outbreak was orchestrated by the connections not to eliminate the infection, but to conceal Elpis's existence. Very convoluted, isn't it? I
And to
feel like.
like also drive Umbrella out of business, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, and I guess so. Essentially, the zombies that are left at Raccoon City, there's some BSAA agents that have obviously gone in there and been infected
Been
or
marked.
died.
Yeah.
And that happens. Are we meant to think that a lot of the zombies that like the ones that come out of the ground and that are from like 1998?
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
dusty old zombies. Because in the when you go to the RPD a bit later, there's
Oh, there's
a
a
fella
police
whose
officer one
uniform
in there.
hasn't perished in all this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rest easy, officer. After blowing his head off.
Don't say something nice after you violently kill
Yeah.
him.
So this bit almost made me feel like is what an open world Resident Evil game could potentially be like. This whole section, because you can kind of do it at your own pace. There's lots of places to explore in
Mhm.
buildings, outside of buildings as you progress. Like when I found that container with a motorbike in, I was like, no
Hell
way.
yeah.
Well, I just thought, what's going to happen? What are we going
Yeah.
to do with that? Are we going to
But
be able
what I
to
do want to
use it
say is like
like,
I liked it as a section of this game as like because it is still orchestrated. You couldn't do the three sections in any order. You have to do
yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
You have to do
it
them when
has
you
that
order them.
feel where you
It's
feel
just got a
like,
bigger thing about it, but I'm still sure like this was a fun it was a fun way to have a little bit more open space and a little bit more sort of optional exploration.
mm,
I don't want a Resident Evil open world game that's meant to take me 100 hours and is just a big
oh
map where I
yeah,
go to a tower and get to the top
yeah.
and then be able to see all of the little things on my map and then mill around and do that bit. Like
Did it,
this was enough. I
Yeah.
don't need a full open world.
if you want that, Days Gone exists, and
Yeah.
that's got a motorbike in it as well. So
Just on the
I
record,
did,
we also don't need one that's a live service. Just a curated game every few years is fine. Thanks.
yeah. I did like being like in and around the city and stuff though, because I think as much as I love like the care center bit and stuff, it is, it's very sort of repetitive of like the layout of you're in a big building with a big reception and you've got one wing
mm,
and you've got the other wing and you've got the two entrances and all that sort of thing. It's all great, but I loved being out like in the city and running around and running up the buildings and stuff.
I thought it was
And
good that it was in the daytime as well. Sorry, Liz, go on.
yeah. No, it's fine. I was just gonna say, a shout out because one of the things that I put in my because I was making notes the first time that I played it so that I didn't forget anything. And one of the things that I noted was about, when he finds like the dead like agents, and then you get this sort of he watches the video footage of when they're in there, and then they all they all start getting shot. I love that because I found like it was like a mini found footage movie. It
Yeah.
reminded me of like a segment from like VHS or something like
Mm.
that, where you just like you seeing all this POV and there's no real explanation of it, and they all just start dying and stuff. I thought like, yes, this is so good. In my head, this is like I can't remember which VHS it is, but there's the one of the more recent ones. There's a segment with zombies where they go into this like big like agents go into this house and they're like shooting all these
Oh
like
yeah,
zombies and things. And loads of people at the time said like that little segment was like a better Resident Evil movie than any of the
yeah,
movies that have been made. And
Mhm.
it really reminded me of that. And I'm
yeah.
just Zach Cregger's, if you're listening, that's what we want from a Resident Evil
Yeah.
movie, please. One of his.
I still stand by my review of the last Welcome to Raccoon City movie, where like I think it's impossible to adapt like for like. Give
Yeah.
me a to be honest, give me an anthology. Like give
Mhm.
me Raccoon City stories and give me
Yeah.
half a dozen
Mm.
short contained zombie movies, and maybe you see. a Leon or a Claire or a Jill
Yeah.
passing by, but they're not the main character because we know they're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the Zach Cregger Resident Evil is not got any game characters, is it? I think it's supposed to be like a sort of fairly self-contained story of someone transporting some organs to Raccoon City Hospital, and then it
To
turns
put
into
them in that care center so someone can put them in a puzzle.
yeah, get them in there.
I just
But
kind of find that annoying though, because if you're going to make a Resident Evil movie, but you're going to say that it doesn't relate to the games in any way, just make a
mm,
zombie movie. Then don't make it a Resident Evil movie. Because to me, if I want to go and watch a Resident Evil movie, I want to be sat in that cinema with other fans
yeah,
and get. I want the fan service. I know that some people don't, but I do. Like, I want to be sat there and I want to like gasp at the screen and be like, "Oh my god! Like, it's him, it's so and so."
For all
I
we know,
will.
then
I will
maybe
say,
that's the strategy. Maybe you'll meet popular
yeah.
character Victor Gideon, and it'll be his
Yeah,
backstory. Give me something we haven't seen in a game, then.
After
Get
what
it
yeah.
after
related.
playing Requiem, it really made me double down on how dirty Leon was done in Welcome to Raccoon City. It is.
Oh, I know. And I
It is
love that
unbelievable.
guy that plays him, but it just wasn't right.
It just
Just
wasn't
wasn't
right,
right.
was it? Now it was not right. They really just lent into what's that? He's a rookie in Resident Evil 2. Well, we'll just yeah, not very good.
Yeah.
Um, okay, but yeah, I love this Raccoon City section. I really took my time again because I was like, I don't know how
Yeah.
long I'm going to be here for. I want to look at
Yeah.
everything. And again, it is a bit grey and washed out. And I like the fact it happens in the daytime. If it happened at night, it would have had a completely different vibe. But
Mhm.
that soundtrack, like the action music when you're fighting the zombies, has got like a zombie scream in it, hasn't it? Like
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
zombie. It's
Yeah.
stressing me out. I was constantly like, oh, this music's still in my head and it's making me so stressed. But I guess it worked. The zombies operating those mortars, the
Yeah, the
zombies
set
with
pieces in this are
guns.
wicked. The gun bit in the stairwell, the mortars bit, the shooting the glass out when you're climbing that
Oh my
Oh, that
God.
skyscraper.
was so stressful.
That bit of that being in the building on its
Yeah.
side, and it was making me motion sick the way he was having to like
Yeah.
walk and then like shoot a door open to jump down. I was just like, it's
Yeah.
like Inception. It's incredible. That was
Yeah.
the most impressed I was with
So
the
good.
game all the way through.
And then you get a
So
big
good.
motorbike. Like I think this is
Oh,
another
We haven't,
hallmark of the things like the like an on rails shooter bit.
and we only very briefly mentioned the spider boss as well.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
That
it's
that
decent.
was major stress. All the little spiders, that was
yeah.
major stress. The bit when you're like going down the lift when all the zombies are jumping onto it,
Oh, yeah, so good.
stress. It was just all
Just
relentless,
like
wasn't
a
it?
set after set of like great the bit of the when you get in the petrol and everyone comes out on fire.
Chainsaw guy again with a bloody Mad Max helmet on. It was just,
Just brilliant.
as I said, it was just clips from this section and the motorbike section. If I would have seen these a couple of months ago, I'd have been like, "What is going on?" Surely
Yeah.
not. But it
No,
just
and
it
that's
just
not even the
worked, didn't
half of
it?
it though, because we get through this section and then we sort of go to more of a closed up space as we move through. You get the
Do you
signal
want
to
to? I
where you're
mean,
trying to go.
can we just mention the motorbike chase? Obviously, you're being the massive dogs are chasing you. That's pretty terrifying. The the fact that he does a jump over like a building that has fallen. He has no idea what's on the other side of it, and he's like, "Huh!"
Okay.
And then you have like a joust with Victor Gideon as
Yeah.
well, like on motorbike with guns.
Oh, it's so good.
It's ridiculous. Again, that is so
Metal
Metal
Gear.
Gear.
That's
Yeah, yeah, that is so Metal
that is the
Gear.
sensibilities of Metal Gear because it is played almost so incredibly straight. Yeah, Liz, I think you'll love it because there's action and there is essential dialogue, but then sometimes you'll just phone someone and the person who you phone to save your game will have a conversation with you about when Godzilla was invented and what its cultural meaning was, and because Hideo Kojima, the director of those, he loves films, he loves cinema, is what he
Yeah.
loves.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
He's
No,
I'm
like
gonna
Quentin Tarantino's more film obsessed mate.
Okay, perfect.
yeah. So when we do get to RPD, I don't want
Oh
to.
God.
I do not want to sound like over the top or anything like that. But I felt so. It for me. I had goosebumps. I had this sense of just like because I love it when in films and games and stuff, we do return to an old area, or the nostalgia. Sometimes things are a bit nostalgia bait. Like, go, remember this? We're going back there. But I think it was so well done. The way
Mm.
Leon opens those doors and has flashbacks to Resident Evil 2. The soundtrack when you're in the RPD, where it's like, it's not quite the same music as RPD, but it's there. It's like, it's in the mix somewhere. You can hear it. And Leon's memories of this place, and I know the gun shop, the Kendo gun shop, he goes there afterwards, but like when he thinks about Brian Kendo and he says like never again about what happened, like I was so like affected by this. It just felt like it could have been done in so many different ways where it didn't work, but I feel like it was just
I
so
like
good.
how it slowed down a little bit because in terms of physical map size, not a particularly big bit of the game.
A lot
No.
of RPD is cut off, isn't it? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, like it's a building of a certain size, and you're not going to do the whole thing because obviously in the game, so
Yeah.
much of it relies on you going down into the sewers and the parking garages and all those other things. You
Mm.
see half a dozen rooms, but and the stuff that you do here until you reach the boss character isn't particularly high stakes. You can do a little
Mm.
bit of bonus hunting by you look like Barry Burton's treasure hunt and you look at Jill's hat on the desk, which has no story
Yeah.
relevance, just the hat's on there.
Going back to
That
the
And
was the
stars
fan
office.
service, though. That's
yeah,
the kind of fan service
Yeah.
that I want from the films. And I, all of this bit, I mean, I am a crier anyway, but I cried my eyes out walking around seeing like the welcome Leon sign and
Oh God, yeah.
reading the note that had been left about, get the cake and get some sodas in case the new rookie doesn't drink and stuff like that. I was like in bits, really, really emotional about it. And I've only loved this franchise for what, 6 years.
Mm.
You guys have loved this franchise since I was 6 years old, so I can only
yeah.
imagine
It was
how
so
you felt
it's
about it.
yeah, it's so nice to go around the area and they let you take
Mm,
some time with
sometimes.
it. Because
Yeah.
obviously also I think for the time this came out, like don't know if you two are the same now. I don't there are scant few games that I play through multiple times now because quite
Oh yeah,
frankly
no.
there's always so many things to go back. But in the era that this one came out, particularly original Resident Evil 2, this
Mm.
was in the time when you'd be like, right, this is the game I've got for 6 months. So
Yeah. Multiple characters as well,
yeah,
obviously,
I'm
multiple
playing through
scenarios.
this time
Mm,
after time after time. And then it's like, how fast can I do it? And then it's like,
Yeah.
can I do it with a better rank? Like,
mm.
obsessed over that game. So I played it a lot.
Marvin Branner's desk, and he says, reporting for duty, officer. What does
Oh,
he say? It's just like, it's mad. Like, just the welcome Leon sign, the stars office.
Felt wrong as well.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just so good, like being able to do that and just that soundtrack. The fact that that sound is kind of like distant in the mix is the original soundtrack is great. And obviously, once you complete it once, there's a chance to change the music to the old music as well. And it just like it works so well. And for me, the return of Mr. X was a total,
Right.
total surprise. I had
Yeah.
no idea, no idea. Oh,
No.
was it spoiled for you, Andy?
That it was going to be in it, yeah. Because like
Ah,
within days of the game being out, it wasn't even, you didn't even have to search it out because the algorithms know that, oh, you like this type of thing. It's like,
yeah.
here's a video of him fight, here's a video of the cutscene of him doing the final boss. Here's the cutscene of going into the
Um,
RPD. Like, it's fine.
this is why I booked the day off
Yeah, yeah,
because I
yeah.
was worried that stuff like that would be
I think
spoiled
I,
for me.
I had a minor spoiler. I saw like a screenshot of someone who was obviously Xeno that I thought, oh,
Mm.
it's not Wesker, is it? Shit.
Mm.
Just
Yeah,
kind of looked
I'm
away.
fairly resilient to spoilers. I try to just take them as out of context. And if you scroll away quick, then maybe it gives you a flash of what you might expect. But
Yeah.
do think the last
This
game
was
I've had the fortune
unbelievable.
to book a day off to play was Halo 4. So you're going back away now. But yeah, like spoiled enough that I knew it was coming up, but
Yeah.
it was still no
I
less
couldn't believe it.
affecting.
I literally couldn't. I
Yeah.
paused. I just paused and went, what the fuck?
I just went, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Just
Because it was stressful. The bit where
this
he like
hard.
pushes a bloody bit of a helicopter through. I was like, oh, what's he doing? Get out of the way. And it just impales you.
Oh, it did me with that as
Yeah.
well and tore me in half.
Yeah. And then the boss fight, obviously, this happens
So good.
outside the orphanage.
You
We'll
feel so
mention.
much more empowered on that bit though, right? Because you have to run away at first, and then more so than in your other encounters with them, when this has been this threat that's chased you for the whole game. It's like, right, I've had enough of you. And
Yeah,
then
Yeah.
the game one, because especially like the game even coaches you towards it, right? That you can parry his
Mm.
attacks. I literally walked up to him like the Terminator with my shotgun out, and I was like shooting you in the chest, parried, shot again. Come on, get back up, why don't you? Have a kick in the face.
the parrying. I mean, I haven't mentioned it yet. I'm only going to mention it now. But I would say on insanity mode, the parrying you had to do with Mr. X and then Hunk slash the commander,
Mm.
unbelievable levels of difficulty. Where I was like, honestly, I reckon like 50 attempts each.
I struggled enough with Hunk that I don't need to do Insanity.
Yeah. I mean,
That was
I
Oh,
struggled
Lord's
on
fine for
standard
me.
as well. It's
yeah.
not something that I tend to do with all games, but sometimes. Um, but yeah, obviously we see the orphanage sequence where there's a flashback to
Ugh.
one of Grace's clones. Is it called Chloe?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, poor little Chloe has to be chased by all those glowing-eyed monsters that can do
Oh my
everything.
god.
They can
Glowing-eyed
regenerate. They can't
boldies.
kneel down to look though.
This was
Yeah.
the second bit of the game that really made my soul leave my body. You know, like when
Oh,
you're hiding under the table and they
yeah.
suddenly drop out
Drop.
like
Yeah.
from above. Oh my god. It reminded me of is it in The Conjuring? I can't remember if it's the first one or the second one where she drops into the basement and she's
First
hiding
one,
under
yeah.
a table, the first one,
God, yeah.
and then the woman's hanging legs just slam against the
Yeah.
table. Oh
Yeah.
It's
my god.
good.
Definitely took a few years off my life, but I
Yeah,
loved it.
it was very intense, and having to like the bit that got me is when you first get that key and you have to hide behind the box, and the game is ever so clever with it's like
Yeah,
they they're gonna get distracted and walk away because there's no, but they play it till
yeah,
the very
Very
end
last.
where they're
yeah.
like they're gonna just look around and see me, I'm gonna be done in here. But Ben,
There's a
just a
bit
quick
as
check.
Yeah.
Um,
There's a bit as well where you go to walk around the corner to get to a door, and the two girly
yeah,
things are stood in front of the door facing away from you.
Yeah.
I like walked back a bit and then like walked back again and looked, and I stood there for ages, sort of watching them, waiting for them to go around the corner, and they didn't. They just really slowly turned around and looked at me, and I was
Oh,
like,
yeah. I think they
"Oh,
got me in the same
no."
time.
you
And
Yeah.
have
I ran all the way back to the other room and thought, "Right, what
back
do I
under
do?"
the
And then went
table.
back again.
Yeah, I think you have to trigger them to be able
Yeah.
to move on. But yeah, Ben, I was
Ugh.
just going to check with you. If you're ever looking for someone, like you've got a daughter, right? And you're ever playing hide and seek with her, and she's going, how would you look for her if she was maybe hiding under a bed?
I just got to the bed and just bang on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, not under there then. This was a bit, and again, like this is the part. There's always a part in a Resident Evil game or any game where you're like, oh, not this bit. That I know when I replay this game, that is going to be the bit where I go, oh, not this bit.
Because you can't do anything about it, right? Because you're weak
Yeah,
as a little kid.
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, and this is obviously Xeno basically telling Grace everything. I
I
guess
mean,
at this
Jack and
point.
Ori about what she was. And then I
Yeah.
love it. You get to the end of this poor section because you're playing like basically a video.
Mm.
You're just playing the video of the story being told to Grace, but as Chloe or whatever her name is, you get to the and it's just is that is that me? Is I one of these babies? Oh yeah, he was injected, killed.
Yeah, that's
Like
pretty much what they do.
she's showing
Yeah.
symptoms, chuck her in the fire.
Yeah.
Oh.
She sees all the little babies in the little spheres as well, doesn't she? Is that right?
Yeah.
These babies? Yeah,
An
and basically what
impractical
Xeno does
an
now.
impractically gauche way to store babies, but never mind.
So Xeno then takes Grace to Ark, and Leon follows. Obviously, that's when Leon goes, fights Mr. X, goes to the orphanage, and underneath the orphanage is the entrance to Ark. How many of these underground bloody labs are there in
Yeah.
Raccoon City?
I was thinking that, to be honest. I was like,
Yeah,
are they all one lab that are all joined up underneath, or is it all different ones?
yeah.
Must
Because
all be
there's
different
like,
ones because this one was top secret, but I don't know how Raccoon City was running a functioning sewer system.
yeah, with all the
Oh, we
labs
got a
underneath.
leak. Like, oh, can I extend my basement, make a little rumpus room? I'm afraid planning permission's been denied. What, honestly, if you dig even slightly below the surface, there is a very expensive high-tech laboratory.
There's a liquor in a bloody jar under there. Um, so basically, what inside Ark, this massive underground lab, Zeno explains that Elpis is protected by a failsafe that will destroy it if an incorrect password is
If you get the
entered, even
password
once.
wrong once,
Too much pressure. And he believes that Grace is a successful result of Spencer's consciousness transfer experiments and therefore knows the code. It's a lot of assumptions being made here, right? Um, so Leon turns up, goes into Ark, and a lot of these sections in Ark are pretty bloody stressful as Grace and as Leon.
Yeah.
Lickers make their return. We get like elite soldiers with shields and machine guns, and just like it's
I was
absolutely
stressed.
ridiculous.
I was stressed with the
Yeah.
soldiers.
yeah,
And I
I
was
wasn't
annoyed with
prepared.
myself that that was the hardest bit because I was like, I fought Mr. X
Yeah,
better than this.
I've done
And
Mr.
now
X.
all these normal human soldiers, just because they've got loads of guns, I'm just repeatedly
Yeah.
dying.
I died quite a few times on that, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not used to this kind of. And ultimately,
No.
what I did was I changed from the machine gun, how I approached them originally. In the beginning bit, I used the machine gun. I shot all of those canisters and made it all smoky, and then got
Mm.
them. And then for the next bit, I just used the rifle and stayed really far away. Got them all
Did you
from
shoot the
far
little
off.
liquor tank and make the liquor come out and
Oh,
attack
I
them?
didn't.
I
Yeah, that was
did.
good. That was a good one. Oh, we forgot about Plant 43 as well. I mean, that was
A whole
just
other
a
boss. Yeah.
whole other
Mm.
boss. Again, I guess it was pretty straightforward, wasn't it, really? But again,
Good though.
um, a nice little touch. The fact Leon going all the way down. I guess that kind of I think the scale of like this lab and Raccoon City
Mm.
was really evident with stuff like that. You going all the way down that rope and then the plant being there.
The only thing I missed, I think, we get nods to the creatures of old. Maybe this is a binary thing then. Maybe you're a big liquor man yourself. I find hunters like a scarier thing to fight.
Yeah. That
Mm.
the POV of the hunter running through the corridors and opening the door from the original Resident Evil, nothing will top that because
I
that was
still
always
remember the
terrifying.
first time I fought one of those in original Resident Evil 1, I was on caution and it came in the door, immediately jumped and took my head off.
Took your head
I was
clean
like,
off, yeah. Lickers, I find, I mean, particularly in this game, but lickers just used to annoy me really because I was like, oh fucking hell, it's gonna take a lot of bullets. It's
a
gonna
lot of
take a
bullets, or like you're gonna have to go very quietly because they can't see.
yeah.
Right? Can you see? They're Ant and
You
Dex
could
styles.
inject to them though if you had any of those left as Grace.
Oh, you couldn't
That
I
was
get
just
them.
good.
around them quietly.
Oh,
Yeah.
Just
I found some bottles of acid, and I
Oh
hadn't
yeah,
yeah.
that
used
was good.
I hadn't used any Molotov cocktails, and that is my favorite
Yeah.
bit of
Mm.
internet content from that. There's loads of fun videos where
Zoom
someone has got
wants it.
multiple liquors and they throw a thing and they're like salsa dancing.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. They're all
Their
moving at the
animation
same
is synced up.
Yeah.
Naked zombies as well. Again, that's a classic. As soon as you get to a lab in Resident Evil, all the zombies are naked. Some of them are
Yeah.
coming out with those of those things with knives,
Who left that on you? Your
armed to the
clothes have
bloody
perished, but you still got your penknife.
armed to the teeth. There was a particular liquor room, though, wasn't there, where there was like it was like right towards the very end of this section as
Mm.
Leon. Couple of big red barrels in there, or big red gas canisters. About fucking 15 liquors.
Yeah.
Yeah. With
Stressful.
Leon though, I never had any ammo problems because I had loads of money saved up. I've
Oh
been
yeah.
Yeah.
crafting my ammo. I just stood in the middle of the room with a shotgun.
Ah,
Yeah.
nice. I'm glad we got to be Grace again for a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if the game went from Raccoon City to the RPD to the Ark, and you're just Leon, 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 I feel like it needed just that slight change of pace towards the end to again
Yeah.
make that final.
And we need to
Um,
see her transition of her character, right? Because she's been
Mhm.
sort of fighting for her life, surviving, like heartbroken over Emily dying
mm.
while being turned into a big sort of sideways mouth, very sort of phallic poo-like monster before being shot to death in a cutscene. And then the very fact that at this point Leon's like it even says in a little tutorial, Leon has reached his bloody limit. He's had it
Oh
up
my
to
god.
here.
When you're fighting liquors and stuff and you start bloody having a little bit of a woozy
Bluing
headache.
out.
obviously fighting Hunk slash the command. Do we think it's Hunk or do we think it's just a
I,
clone? Or
I, the internet says no, but I don't know.
yeah, I mean, I think either answer is kind of cool. Um,
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know because again, it's the missing thread of Blue Umbrella because isn't he in the Chris Redfield DLC of Biohazard as well,
yeah,
working
possibly,
yeah,
with
I
the
think
but
so.
not a hero.
BSEA?
See, because I always thought Hunk was kind of like anti-hero, wasn't he? He was always
He
like,
works for Umbrella, right?
yeah.
Mm,
But yeah, this fight was pretty intense. Little sneaky bastard, running around, shooting
yeah,
you when he wants to, one shot killing you at other times. It was stress,
it was
and
solid.
it was
Most of my
solid.
fight with him, I don't know the bit I was on, like he tended to stay quite. He tried to run off at one bit, but I think I ran close enough to him in the smoke that
Yeah,
it just triggered him to go into the close bit again. So I didn't
yeah,
have
yeah.
much
No, that's
issue with
right.
him trying to shoot me.
With the shooting bit, I realized after a while that you don't need to like go and find him. He'll get to you. So I did a lot of like waiting around, waiting for him to come to me, and then go got you. But yeah, that I mean, end game bosses come thick and fast, and they are difficult. Um,
Mm.
but yeah, so obviously Leon's had a guts fall. He collapses
He's just
before.
resting his eyes, Ben.
He obviously has the first
Oh,
the first instance of him meeting Zeno as well, and Zeno obviously goes to shoot him. Leon like chops his hand nearly clean off. Um,
yeah,
but then they manage to escape down that big falling, whatever that is.
Yeah, that's when he has to have a little rest and you have a
That's
go
when
as
he has to
Grace,
have a
isn't it?
rest, yeah. Um, and essentially the plan is we're gonna jump down this falling thing and land in the dump. And what's the plan? Get back up there.
Get back up
That's
there. He'll
that's
have
literally the
gone.
plan. Zeno's gone, yeah. Um, and then eventually when they do get back up there, Leon collapses. Grace
Has been watching a video of her, as we learn, adopted mother, Alyssa,
mm,
adopted mother.
having an
Why?
interview with Oswald Spencer where he revealed that I've done some really shitty things. Remember that time I went to Africa and I found those flowers that turned all those lads there into zombies? Remember that time I met Mother Magda and promised her to have a
Mother
baby to
Miranda. Yeah,
regen
yeah,
Mother Miranda and promised her a baby so she could regenerate and met that Lady Dimitrescu in that orgy of evidence room. Remember that time I built that mansion and that company that made all that T-virus? Remember that guy William Birkin? Basically, I've done all these really shitty things. I think adopting this kid
yeah.
probably balances the books.
make it all right. Yeah,
All of these babies, hundreds of them, hundreds of babies in jars, all going to be used for my experiments and cloning things. But this one baby, I'm going to
Just
give
a
to
normal
you.
baby, actually. She's the opposite of Ray Palpatine in the new Star Wars films, where she has
Yeah.
no legacy. Been better if
No.
they'd done it in that. It's like no legacy. You're not related to another secret character. You're not a secret clone. You're just a baby that he saw one day and went, "You're nice."
yeah, I'll have you.
I'll have you. And I liked
Oh,
it was good for fans of Outbreak, but I feel like if you really wanted Alyssa Ashcroft in this, she was used quite sparingly, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Um, so pretty much we get the end now. So Leon and Grace reunite, confront Zeno in the Elpis chamber. Grace unlocks Elpis. So obviously
Well,
you had a
choices,
choice here.
choices. You get to choose.
Release Elpis or destroy Elpis is basically what you get to do. And
Do you want to have a guess what the password is? Bearing in mind, Ben, that you do know. If you were guessing the password when in a place called in a room called Pandora's box, um, for a virus called Elpis, who was the goddess of hope, and the
yeah,
password gives you a clue and says, "What does the creator want?" You've only got one go. Don't leave caps lock on. You'll kill us all. What do you reckon you guess the password would be?
Grace 123.
Correct.
Just
No,
bloody
don't worry
hope.
about it. Four letters, no special characters, no capital letters is fine. Just
Yeah,
whack a bit of hope
hope.
in there. Did either of you choose destroy Elpis and see what happens? There's
I
two ways
chose
to do it.
destroy, and I'll tell you for why. After bear in mind what you've just said about all the terrible things that he did, and then we're meant to believe in this last moment that he's doing
Yeah,
something
I know
good,
what you mean.
and that Leon, the love of my life, has made me promise consistently throughout this game that when the time comes, I will do the right thing and I will destroy this thing. I think I just blasted through this so fast that I just didn't even take in a lot of the things that were being said about all of
Mm.
this. And I just didn't want to let Leon down. So I was just
Yeah.
like,
I promise
destroy.
you,
Because he thinks destroy it. Because when you go release, he goes, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
you did tell me
So
trust me though a minute ago, just a minute ago. I said, don't worry.
I know
I
that she says I've got a plan, like
yeah.
just before, but in my head I was still like,
So luckily,
ironically, I was thinking, what if I release it and it kills him?
yeah. No, no, no.
Ah, the
That crossed my
irony.
mind as well. I think in this moment when you're like, "Oh my God, I've got to make a choice," you do just kind of overthink everything. And
Yeah.
I didn't destroy Elpis, but I was more, I was leaning towards that into, my wife was watching me play and I went, "What am I doing here? Am I destroying it or am I releasing it?" And she was a bit like, "Oh, well, release it, right?" And I was like, I was thinking destroy." And she was like, "No, no, I think you got to release it." And I went,
She's the goddess of hope, Ben,
if,
Elpis. Don't know if you've
if,
been paying attention. Thank
if,
goodness.
yeah, but again, it wasn't, I wasn't paying
Oh, yeah.
attention. I was just overthinking it, thinking
Yeah.
it wasn't like I
But
was Grace making a decision. It was like it was me, and it
if you
wasn't.
Yeah.
can't trust the words of a dying, very rich man who's done a lot of terrible things throughout his
You
life,
can
Yeah,
you
that's
trust.
kind of ridiculous,
what
isn't it?
can you trust?
So I'm assuming so you both picked release.
Yeah, so I
Yeah,
So
haven't
in the
seen.
end.
I've looked it up since. I haven't watched the video, but I know that if you choose destroy, Leon helps Grace escape but dies, right?
yes, and it was
Oh my
traumatizing, I must
God.
say. She basically like the building starts sort of collapsing around you. Um he I can't remember exactly how it happens. I think Xena just basically gets really pissed off and she like Leon helps her jump onto like the ledge thing and she manages to climb up and
Mm.
she looks down and he looks up and he says, at least I got to save you. And then Xeno fucking shoots him in the head.
Oh
And
my
that was
God.
how the game ended for me on first play. And I
Wow.
literally sat there on the sofa, like completely
Does it
shell
not give you
shocked.
another chance, or can you not like reload another
Load a
save?
save.
It does after the credits. So I
Okay.
went into the credits thinking that was it. That's what
Well
Oh
done.
my
happened.
God. But
But
again,
then it was really exciting then when it got to the end and it was like you can play the game and you can go back and make another choice. And I
yeah,
made the other choice. And then I was like, oh my God, there's a whole other section of the game to
it's
go.
just that Resident Evil doesn't really do that, does it? I think that's another thing where I was confused.
Well,
Like
it's always
change
been
up
more
the ending, I
subtle
guess.
with its ways
Yeah.
to influence endings, right? Because original
Mm.
recipe, you could save certain people by,
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
optional
yeah.
puzzles, right?
You could
Or
get a
you
bad
could
ending, couldn't you,
trust,
on the original? Yeah.
yeah, you could trust Barry or not trust him. You could like get the serum for someone or not get it fast enough.
Yeah.
It was always a little bit like that. Not all of them have had different ways to do it. Like I don't think you could influence anything in two, or like there was different. And three had loads of different endings where sometimes Barry picked you up in the in the helicopter.
Yeah.
Sometimes you
There was
just
that
like
one.
not get out of the city in time and get blown up.
Mm.
But I quite. It's been the first time it's got a very sort of Mass Effect-y type of choice at the end, right? Choose what
Yeah.
you want to do on this console.
Because when you release it, obviously it heals Leon. He injects it,
Before
does a
does it,
back
old
flip.
Zemo goes, "Oh, lovely new virus. Check this out. I'm going to kill you with my
Yeah.
wicked new powers." Always read the
Removes.
label.
I kind of like that though, because I feel like what it automatically did then was just like, because I kept thinking, what's the boss fight of Xeno going to be like? And then suddenly I
Yeah.
was like, oh, it's not going to have anything. And
Mm.
obviously Gideon says to him he's a pale imitation as well, where obviously on the nose it pretty much says you're a Wesker or some sort of
Yeah, you're a
Wesker thing.
Wesley clone, but we like again just put me an extra file in there, or so,
Yeah.
or maybe this will be addressed in the DLC. Who knows?
But it was
Yeah.
pretty kick-ass having Gideon just chop his head off.
Oh, I
Yeah.
loved that.
Yeah, I loved
So
it as well.
satisfying.
And then Zeno, sorry, and then basically Gideon, sorry, yeah, Gideon misinterprets, he kind of misinterprets Spencer's intentions. He's like, my master, because he kept saying my master will, he'll show me what to do, or something like that. I can't remember what he's
It was
saying.
a Gideon. Take a breath. Watch this video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He adopted little Babby and became a nice man, actually. So maybe you follow his teachings in this particular instance as well.
Classic Resident Evil ending as well. Self-destruct system. Victor activates Arc's self-destruct system and mutates into a nemesis-like monster. Again, Leon was like, "Oh, you're a nemesis." I kind of like that because it kind of thinks him and Jill have probably had a conversation about that.
What if you said
This
I called it a nemesis? That's a wicked name.
That's a good name,
Yeah.
yeah. And then this final boss was it was pretty good. I think it did. They always like devolve into big, massive monsters, shoot the weak spots.
Big
I get that.
Wobman, glowing
When
red spots.
he had kind of like electricity powers as well, that
Yeah,
was pretty
he does
mad.
big sort of Thor jumps, doesn't he, before he
Yeah,
mutates? Because
and
it's electric.
the moment when Leon walks towards him, requiems one of his arms off, requiems the next arm off,
Oh,
and then
so good.
requiems him straight in the face and does a spin and puts it away and says, "This time you're not getting back up." Hell yeah. It
Yeah.
it rival so when Jill finally kills Nemesis as well, what does she say? She says something like no means no, doesn't she? What does she say? Next time take the hint or something like that, isn't it? Because he's obviously
No
following
means
her.
no.
What does he say? What does she say? She says something like that.
Same
Oh,
vibe,
no,
to be honest.
It's like one of those moments, isn't it?
isn't I don't know what she says in the remake. In the original, it's like you want bloody stars, I'll give you stars. By which I mean a railgun to your face.
Yeah. I think she says next time take the hint. I think that's what she says. I knew it was along those lines. Um
I'm rewriting that,
afterwards
Ben, re-recording it. No means no.
No, no.
leave me alone, Nemesis, with your horrible. Yeah, because in a way, I didn't want to get into this, but Nemesis, a male monster that pursues very tentacly, very like
Mm.
he like jabs her at one point, and she gets infected. There's like it's like STDs, unwanted attention
Nemesis
from a
is a sexual predator,
sexual
confirmed.
predator, old
I
Nemi, isn't he?
mean,
Yeah.
equal opportunities, Ben. This is Brad Vickers' erasure to point out that he
Oh
didn't get
yeah,
in
sorry.
first.
Um, so Leon and Grace pretty much think they're gonna die. Like the lights all
Oh,
go off.
Oh my God, this bit again, I was sobbing.
Yeah.
It's
Because they
so
were just like,
beautiful.
we're
Such a
we're done.
beautiful.
That's it. That's the end.
And it's like, oh, I'm gonna sit here right here with you.
Yeah.
And all the lights start to go off and like they're sparking behind him and stuff. I
It's
just
like the end of
in
Toy Story 4.
oh my God, I'm so glad that you said that because I had the exact same thought and I thought I was insane.
Yeah,
Like,
it was. It
where
was.
you like you sort of you almost like, oh well that's nice because they're gonna die, but at least they're gonna die together.
Even
Like,
just where it went
yeah.
dark.
could have
Yeah.
saved that dose of curing, just died peacefully.
Oh. In a way, I kind of think it would have been a good ending,
Yeah, if this had
but I
been the
also
last
did
Resident Evil game, it's sold fortune. It's not going to
yeah,
be the last Resident Evil game, but I
I
feel they could have
genuinely,
ended it.
but I thought it was gonna be Leon's last game. Like,
yeah,
all the way through, I was convinced, like
I thought,
especially when you go to RPD and it's, like, reliving all his moments because it's
yeah,
like, we're really putting a lot of focus on how far this character's come and everything that he's had to
yeah.
go through to then really seal that gut punch in the end when he dies.
I thought
And
he
I'm
was
like,
just going to sacrifice himself in some way.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
He was
or
gonna die
maybe
a
be
noble death.
like, oh, another thing I was thinking, maybe there was just one dose of the cure and somehow
Yeah.
he gave it to Sherry.
Yeah, lots of
And
things fell
Mm,
down, right?
yeah,
mm,
But no, I think but what happens is when they
Gideon
think they're
gets,
going to die,
Gideon snaps up some of the cure as well, takes it
yeah,
with him.
yeah.
Um,
maybe that's the bit they got. Maybe they got it from his deteriorated body because we do a little bit of skipping forward, right? So we see as the guys think they're all gonna not be rescued. All the lights come in. Sherry
Mm.
has obviously put a call in. She's Laura Dern at the end of Jurassic Park 3,
yeah, yeah, she
one where
has.
they've
The
gone,
whole
we're
army
working,
turns
we're
up.
working off the grid, everyone's shutting us down, no one wants to help us. And then it's like she's basically called everybody. And
Yeah.
everyone's come down there, and then a masked figure, who it's important isn't an important character because they all die off screen a bit later in between while the credits are rolling, says, thank goodness we've got you in time. Captain Redfield wants a little bit of a chat with you. Although the surgeon is
Mm.
his mother, who is the which Redfield? No, they do say Chris later on, but at
Yeah.
first I was like, Is this going to be a
Captain
little
Redfield, yeah.
blindsider? And
Well,
Claire is
it's
Captain
the old
Redfield.
Hound Wolf unit from the end of Village as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ark's exposure sparks a global scandal. We see all the news reports, new investigations
Lovely.
into Umbrella, the connections, United States government. Again, like felt like a bit like the way that animated movies treat like the expanded world
Mhm.
of Resident Evil. Um,
The government has released a statement that says there's definitely no more Umbrella scandals to come out.
there's no more labs. That was the last one. That was the last lab. Grace has cured Emily with Elpis and adopted her. Luckily,
That's
Leon did.
mad because it feels like that could be the DLC because that's when Leon says, "I didn't hear any of her vital organs. She's still
Yeah.
there." And then
We
we
see
see
a little
we
picture of
go
her.
we little picture of her inside the monster as if it's a mascot costume.
Yeah.
as, as if it's a mascot costume. And
Oh,
then
bloody hell.
the credits roll, and then we just see Grace is just back at her desk job. That boss goes,
Yeah,
"Where's that report?" Which you can read in the bonus features, a lovely
yeah.
60
Yeah.
It was like a
pages.
PowerPoint. Didn't anyone read it? It was
Yeah,
like a PowerPoint, wasn't
yeah, I
it?
did read
Not
it.
time yet.
Needed a few more images. Yeah, so you can read that report that she puts on a boss's desk, but you also see that just off camera they went and fished her out and cured her and did all that stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe that
Yeah.
is a DLC. It
I, f-
feels
I,
I
f-
like
like
it's
that though.
I feel
I
like
was
not killing Leon and going back and saving Emily feels like they've gone in right at the end and gone right. We got to try and tweak some of this stuff so we can
Mm.
get more content out of it. I feel like the right decision would have been story wise in terms of the emotional beats. Unfortunately, would have been to
yeah.
kill both of them, but I'm
Yeah.
happy with it either way.
You got to bring
Um,
new characters in there. I feel now you can do Grace as a more action savvy character from what she's learned in this one. It's a new generation.
yeah,
She's a younger character. You can't have, you know, strangely enough, our digital characters age just like our real ones if you're going to put things forward in time. I mean, you live in a magic virus world. If you want to, you could say, oh, a side effect of being cured from T virus is that I'm young again, actually.
Yeah.
but
Got the
also
body of a 25-year-old.
Emily not blind, right? From the
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's cured from that as well.
Georgia.
cured from being a monster and being blind. Great
I think,
stuff.
didn't you say that the drugs that they were giving her made her get
Okay.
cataracts? So she
Mm.
has cataract. She could have just had surgery.
Yeah.
Okay. I see.
Yeah.
There we go. And obviously, then there is a bit of a post-credits bit where a couple of soldiers who eliminate the remaining BSAA forces to retrieve their objective.
Is
Bloody
that
hell.
the commander that they're getting, or just
Don't know.
Don't know.
Don't know.
just
Not clear,
someone?
is it, what they get?
Again, yeah.
Oh, the
There we go.
body of popular character Victor Gideon? Maybe.
It's a massive bloody body to retrieve, isn't it?
Just a
Just like,
bit of
oh,
him.
a little bit of him, just his head. Um, there we go. That is
I
Resident Evil
did like I did like Leon's little kind of inside joke with us because Chris hasn't been around for so long where he's on the phone to Sherry and he's like, where is Chris anyway? And she's like, oh, who knows?
Yeah.
He
Who
thinks
Bloody
that's
knows what
what
he's
nerds.
going
he
to look like this time? Chris Redfield, a man with
It could be anyone.
more models than
Did
a
they
Ford
officially cross
showroom.
paths in Resident Evil 6, though, Leon and Chris? I guess.
I
Well, they've
can't
They're
been to
obviously.
remember.
Alcatraz together in a canon movie.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, like, game-wise, I just feel like they're always kind of kept
I
separate,
think
wasn't they?
they cross over. I think each team meets the other briefly, even if it's only at a distance.
Mm. At a distance. All right.
Do we think the next game will be Chris, being as they've like hinted a bit?
I don't know.
I don't know. I think maybe didn't they recently do a poll? Um,
People said Jill,
so-
right?
yeah, Jill gets a lot of marks. Leon is by far a fan favorite. Ada gets a lot of love. I mean, it was at Capcom's headquarters in Japan that they did this, and she's the only Asian character. Maybe that
Yeah.
has a role to play as well.
Mm.
But I feel if Ada's going to turn up, it'll be in the DLC to this game because they're so closely linked. I
Yeah.
don't know if you turn Chris into if you do age him up and make him like like the character that gives you your mission at some point. Does he
Mm.
go in and
Yeah.
be the main? Because you do play as him as the end of Village, right?
Yeah,
That is
yeah.
him that you're playing
Yeah.
as.
end of Village and at the end of 7.
Yeah.
Well, the DLC of 7, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Obviously, we usually rate the film here, but I guess as it's a game, we can rate it as well.
Same
O- o-
rating system.
Overall experience, same ratings, A to F, pluses and minuses allowed. How would you rate Resident Evil Requiem, Liz?
A plus,
Yeah.
indeed.
So I was going to say A. The
Mm.
plus I feel like would be if there was a real. I feel like it's still got a bit of a villain problem. Now, that doesn't mean I
Okay.
dislike the game. I think overall the game is an absolute amazing experience. Gameplay, like
Mm.
the RPD stuff is all. I feel like Metal Gear Solid 4 went back to Shadow Moses Island, and that was when did Metal Gear Solid 4 come out, Andy? 2009,
It's
maybe?
sort of first year of PlayStation 3.
I feel that's
So
the last time I had an experience similar to this where I was like, oh my God, this
yeah.
is just perfect. And I felt like that with Resident Evil going back to Raccoon City, going back to the RPD. So it's an A plus for almost every other reason other than I think it has got a bit of a villain problem. So that's why I'll just say A. But I'm going to replay it.
Yeah, I think I would probably agree with that actually. I don't think that compared to especially like Village, I don't think that the villains in this were as like iconic and cool
No.
as that
Yeah.
like they
And you got
wouldn't.
to meet them, right? You got to know who they were in
Yeah,
that game. It wasn't like this
Yeah.
is a
who,
guy.
And obviously
yeah, I
Jack
think
in
I would,
Resident Evil 7, the fact
yeah,
that he is this threat throughout the whole game, and then towards the end, you're like going, "Oh, actually, he's a victim as well."
Feel bad for
yeah.
you, poorly.
Feel bad for you, yeah. So yeah, what about you, Andy?
I'm gonna join you on an A top tier game. First one, I mean, didn't even talk about playing experience because I had all this travel I've been doing recently. Got it on the Steam Deck, so I played it in a handheld with
Oh,
headphones on. Really, really, it
so you're almost
performs very well, and even in a handheld mode, you maybe lose a tiny bit of graphical fidelity on fine details like hair, but plays really well. The sound's really immersive. Loved it. I don't think I diminished the experience at all. So gameplay, wonderful. Same issues as you, though. I think that maybe has a little bit of a villain problem, and as a series, someone like us who is super into it, you notice those missing threads that have
yeah,
been
Mm.
abandoned. I'd like them to tie some of those together for me. But great, tremendous work as a game, top tier stuff.
hell yeah.
It's going to be vying for Game of the Year awards. Obviously,
Oh
only
yeah.
challenged by Pocopia, which is life. But yeah,
But
great, tremendous
what a
work.
time to be a Resident Evil fan, though, right? What a time.
Yeah, new film on the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a time to just be a horror game fan at all, to be honest, with like
Yeah,
Silent Hill. I mean, Silent Hill F was fucking fantastic. This,
Mhm.
and now we get another Silent Hill set in the UK, no less,
Yeah.
at the end of
yeah.
this year.
Scotland as well. Look, what a
Just
time. Gonna be.
oh my God. When I watched the broadcast of the Silent Hill broadcast,
Oh
and
yeah.
the creators like they went to the locations that they've based it on and stuff. And I said to my friend, like, how cool is it that we've finally got a game like this in a franchise like that, where it would actually be possible for us to, go for the weekend and
Oh
scout
my
out
God,
those
Go
yeah.
and see the
places and
places. Yeah.
yeah, and feel like we're actually in it and stuff. Because
Mm.
obviously, for a lot of it, a lot of it's fictional or based on places that are very, very far from England. So
It's nice to go
should
and
be
like
great
actually
fun.
like be able, yeah, to go and experience it, your own little horror pilgrimage. And the indie game space is still incredible
Mm.
for horror stuff as well. I saw something advertised. I should have mentioned this on the news, in fact. Game called Baghead, which is designed for the Sega Mega Drive, coming out right now. It's coming out for PC as well.
Oh,
Yeah, like Clock Tower inspired,
Oh, nice.
proper intense point and click adventure searching horror game with its gimmick being that you just have a group of survivors, and if one of your characters dies, you can switch between your characters, but if someone dies, they're just out of it, and that's your lives. So basically, like the if you were fighting your way through with all these characters, your ending's gonna be who you managed to get through to the ending, but like it looks like really, really exciting game. They've dropped a couple of trailers today. I'll repost them.
Sweet.
I really liked. Did either of you play the Blumhouse game that came out, Fear the Spotlight?
I've got
No.
that on my like wish list waiting for a sale.
I played that one weekend because it's not super long. Like you can play it in a couple of hours. But I played it and I really loved that, and I didn't think that I would because it's very like old school graphics.
Mm.
Yeah, like a point and click sort of thing. But I played that on the PlayStation and I thought it was brilliant and really creepy. So that's
Oh, sweet.
another good game. I'm looking forward to see what they do with the rest of
Yeah, because they had a whole six, was it, that they had
yeah.
advertised? Yeah.
I've got Fatal Frame, Crimson Butterfly 2, the remake to
Yeah.
play.
Good boys
So
at Koei Tecmo sent you a lovely review code. That's your work now, Ben. Get to it.
yeah, I'm gonna be playing that soon.
Awesome.
Next, probably after my third playthrough of Requiem, just going for a few little trophies because I've never got a platinum trophy on a Resident Evil game, and I feel like this is one that might be achievable.
It's
Not
calling
easy,
to you.
but
Well, you've
might be
done it on
achievable.
Insanity now. You've just got to do
But usually there's like a
speed.
trophy like, oh, play the old game, but don't use the item box. Play the old game, but don't go near a herb. Oh,
I only
what?
used one, Ben, and I used it by mistake.
You did?
I was in the final lab because it resets your health and stuff if you get towards the end. And I hadn't used health thing. I was definitely on the last Leon section, and it said how many. I looked through the achievements list and it said don't use any healing items. And I was on items used so far, none. And then it didn't pop when I finished the game. And I went back to my last save and it's like ones you've used, how many have you used? One. And I was like, have I just fucking pressed the wrong button while I was putting
Oh,
items in the
no.
thing? And
The
I
difficult.
checked all of my rolling saves, all of my auto saves and everything like that, and it was on all of them. So basically, I fat fingered my way out of that
Oh,
like
no.
final thing.
That's
Every
such a shame.
I basically was using healing items that are going out of fashion.
Yeah, same.
Oh God, give me that herb. Um, well, thank you for joining us, Liz. That was a pleasure. Nice big deep dive into Resident Evil Requiem. Thanks for being part of our first ever video game episode. Where can our listeners keep up to speed with you and Not Another Team podcast?
You can follow Not Another Teen Podcast on Instagram at Not Another Teen Pod. And you can follow me at kill_Liz LIZT. Thank you for having me. It's been really fun. Any opportunity to nerd out about Resident Evil and
Hell
my
yes.
husband anytime.
We'll have to make
Yeah.
doing video games a bit more of a regular thing when the ones get released. So
Yeah, that would be really fun.
Silent Hill Townfall can be one we do as well.
We've
Oh,
toyed for a
yes.
long time, Ben, of just doing like a deep dive on Resident Evils and like either sticking them on the Patreon or doing like a super special like
Mm.
spin-off series. Horror Hangout presents the Resident
Mm.
Evil franchise.
That would be cool.
I hope I'm not speaking out of turn. We should just get Liz involved with this. One, sort of keep us accountable to actually
Yeah.
do it, and two, she
I would
brings brings an experience there.
Yeah, we definitely
Yeah,
will.
I'd love that. I mean, like I say, I don't. Some of the lore that you speak of, I'm just nodding and smiling because I don't know it. I haven't watched any of the films, to be honest. Well, I've watched like the big films, but I haven't watched any of the animated ones. So
I
Yeah.
mean, don't run.
maybe I've got a long list here of different things that you've mentioned that I want to check out. So maybe you
Oh,
can,
Sweet.
after this episode, send me a list of the animated films or
oh,
shows or whatever that are
what I'm
worth
hoping
watching.
now is to just get like a message from you at some point saying I've started Metal Gear. What have you done?
Yeah,
So Metal Gear, I hate it. Oh,
yeah.
there we
I'll
go.
give it a go. I'll give it a go.
Amazing. Well, thanks, Liz. Thanks, Andy. Thanks, Leon. Couldn't have done this without you and
Yeah.
Grace, of course. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed the show, become a patron over at patreon.com/horror hangout. Thanks to Taj Easton for our theme music. Thanks to Acast and Rusty Quill for hosting the show. Please consider giving us a rating or review. We're on Instagram, Threads, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, or horrorhangout.co.uk for everything in one place. Next week, we haven't even put out the lineup for April. Bloody April, Jesus. But next week we'll be talking about Ready or Not 2, Here I Come with Amelia Clark. So looking forward to that.
Looking forward to it indeed.
See you later. See you later, everybody.
Yeah, in the meantime, if you've got a degenerative disease that's just come up, just look at what the goddess is of the name of a virus. Might give you a little clue. All right, see you in a bit. Bye.
Bye bye.